hope you're having a wonderful day. We are about to start a pretty big week, so we've already gone over the news. There was a couple of things with lithium and China and all of that. Another piece is Michelle Bowman. She was talking about even more rate cuts, and then we're trying to see what happens with both Russia, Ukraine, the deal with China. You're going to get, again, August 13th, the reciprocal tariff delay, or the truce will lapse. So then we're going to see what we get there. And then throughout the day, everyone's going to be talking about the data that we get tomorrow. So tomorrow is CPI. We're getting a little bit ready for all of that. So Chad, I hope you're locked and loaded, but we only got about 1 minute. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we already gone over plays and everything. I do need to go to the bathroom though. So let me see if I could get that in there. No propaganda. Oh no, but yeah, this is it. We're rolling. All right, I still might go and just yell at you. I lost it. Good morning. Yeah, Freddie and Freddy, we gotta watch those. Let's go. Love from KC, baby. KC, I'm all. I know, but I've never been, but I do that every time I hear it. All right, we got 1 minute. We've gone over the plays. Call out anything if you need it. And then, yeah, bro, I'm trying to hit this bathroom up. I might go right after the ding ding. You know, let the bell go and we'll see. But I'm not expecting anything too crazy, but things are up. And this is the big week now. And I hope you guys realize you are halfway done, or like halfway through August. And then again, how many times have I told you about August 13th? That was even on one of those OG watch lists about a month or two ago. So yeah, we're going to hear a lot about that. And then even Russia, oil, and then you have data. So it should be a lot of fun. Watch those lithium plays, like I said. And then I talked to you guys about lithium, but that Michelle Bowman comment, don't forget about that. What she said this morning, I think, is very telling. We were looking for some of the Fed people to cave the other day, but now, again, that's the dissenter. She's even talking about, you know, hey, we're going to, you know, do 75 now. So I like that. But other than that, Chattadonia, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Fight. All right. KC, I'm all. Oh. Very catchy. All right. I already sent those. Not bad. Yeah, Freddie and Fred's already up 8% there, so that's decent. The free Albemarles have came back. Damn, that sucks. I wanted more of those at a cheaper price though. So they were down a little bit. We were even talking about them on Friday, if you guys remember. So yeah, but Albemarle, PLL, and the other one, those are all going. So we'll see. UNH popping as well, bros. Again, don't forget the ones that had good and bad earnings. I was just thinking about that this morning. What's it called? TTD. You remember that was one of those down 50 or whatever. TEM's on the high. There was something there I remember reading. And then you got AMD. Again, you also have the chip news. And then Intel CEO is going to the White House, but they're already up 3.5 off of that. So yeah, NASDAQ is down 0.03. SPY, Dow. Actually, everything's, dude, we're barely moving. So yeah, very interesting. Tesla's been up since the AM. Yeah, I've been seeing that. But yeah, 63.90, we're right below the 6,400, and then there's only so much. Equal weight is outperforming really good right now. So Russell is up by just under a quarter, but equal weight, that's the one that's actually moving off the first jump. So we'll see if MO, so again, if MO goes up, all of those ideas about rotation are still in play. Just remember for August, they're actually more in play this week, if anything. Just again, the data and whatever we get, you might actually start running a little bit more on these rotations. Otherwise, everyone's going to keep complaining about 10 stocks leading the way on everything. MO, AZN, healthcare is doing decent. Who's the other one? MP. Again, all of those plays, hopefully you made them free already, but they are still holding. Again, damn, the Albemarle's ripped. Those started off at 5%, and then they just went up to 50 real quick. What's the date today? 11th. 20-year interest cuts? They cut the short end, and usually the long end follows. They actually, unless they're doing yield curve control, they don't really alter the long, like they don't affect the long rate of the curve. It's the short range or the short end of the curve that feeds through and then ends up changing all of that. You got a lot. Again, that set of the MOs are still up. I got one more. Ooh, those are at 500%. Damn, guys, I think we got to sell it. But then again, I did that on Friday, and then they went 3,000%. But yeah, MO, if you have the last set of MOs, they're at 500% right now. KCMO. Oh. All right, I sold the MO. I made it free. I don't know why I told you, but God bless you. Not a recommendation. TSLL is like one of those ETFs for Tesla. It's like a single stock ETF. Those came around 2022. They were widely popularized. Eli Lilly on the high. Don't forget you had all of that news and stuff last week. Yeah. Remember, it had one of his worst days in 20 years. And then NVO still at 50. That one's still going to move. There was something else related to GLP-1s, I believe. Crypto stocks climb. Bitcoin in Germany organizing virtual meeting of European leaders on Ukraine for Wednesday. Nvidia's coming down. Abival on the high. And SPY, I mean, every candle so far has been red. I didn't see that one coming. But then again, we move pretty slow. Dow actually is starting to move up. So is the Russell. And then again, equal weight. Bonds are still in the green, surprisingly. KCMO. All right, we made the Albemarle's free. What else can we do? Oh, I want it. Oh, no. Let me check that one. Yeah, those MOs, again, watch if Staples, anything from Staples to healthcare or anything that could get juice outside of this. Because a lot of stuff might get pinned to just waiting for CPI. Don't forget, that is tomorrow. So we might get some surprises and some things can move us. But generally, you know, you're keeping an eye out to whatever we're going to deal with in the next few days here. Or literally tomorrow. CPI. KCMO. That's stuck in my head now, KCMO. Why'd you do me like that, bro? Okay, that won't fill up. Alright, UNH. Other than that, man, I like the MP and I like the mineral plays. Keep an eye on China again too. You're just gonna hear a lot of back and forth on that this week. Again, whatever happens with China, that is still gonna be the set all be all. And ironically enough, I mean, we still have been waiting for that. Oh, I forgot. ANETs are still up too. If you still have any of the free ones from last week, they're down from the top. And then oil too. There was weed news, yes. Something about Trump changing the classification of marijuana. So that got people excited on that. There's a popper, SPY at VWAP. And then coming up so far at the open, SPY's kind of just had only red candles. Same with the bonds. MNDY? Yeah, I think, again, weed stocks are up 14%, MSOS. So, man, this thing has been on a tear. Usually this thing stays, but... you know, I'm pretty surprised. Weed stocks are actually going. MSOS usually fades after a fucking day. So, that's not... it's very, very good. Very, very good, man. Oh, FIG. I forgot about FIG. Yeah, I shall see. Let me go back to those. I don't know. The weed stuff, though, there is a headline. Like I'm saying, we've already read that there in the morning and then over the weekend. But, yeah, it's up 15%. And then weed just usually doesn't hold up. So, if you could actually get follow-through on weed, I kind of like that. So Google, and then I'm going to go look at FIG next. SPY's coming right back up there. So we started a little weak. I don't think we have a direction or idea. You got Staples and healthcare still holding up. FIG. Oh, they added a shit ton of options on FIG. But they're not good. Yeah, the Septembers haven't gotten cheap yet. But once that does, that'll kind of be its own little signal. IWM's up 0.4 now. Shit. So that little boost right there just gave you another quarter on IWM. Nasdaq still red, and then SPY just barely went green. And then I think your boy Equal Weight's already is probably going to stay up. Yeah, Equal Weight 0.5. Equal Weight's outperforming the Russell. So yeah, so far to start off Monday though, it's starting off broad. I mean, you are getting some advances out of everything else. I mean, a lot of people were talking over the weekend how concentrated the market has been. So I think that's good for now. Oh, I still need to go pee, chat. They playing with me, bro. Damn, son. Intel. Yeah, again, Intel Liputan, he's going to the White House today, so we are going to hear about it eventually. And then watch, again, I'm telling you, the Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, it's very important, you guys. I think Trump is about to, I think he wants to do it, and he wants to, like, pretty much bring Fannie and Freddie public so that they could start giving out and funding different mortgages. I think it could be a good thing. It's going to be unique, but at the end of the day, if this actually goes through, I think they're going to start using Freddie and Fannie to start hooking some of you young guys up with mortgages. I'm telling you, the little make mortgages great again blew my mind. Because again, I was thinking about other things when we got the news, but I'm starting to see what Donald Trump's plan is with it. So it's very fascinating. But either way, just keep an eye out for that. You are going to hear a lot more back and forth. BMNR, yeah, that was starting really good. Again, if we could get another week with Ethereum, that one will benefit as well. Or just watch again crypto and how that plays. Just again, if Ethereum specifically. MP on the high. There's W. Palant. Okay, SPY not doing too bad. Bond's still all red. Nasdaq's barely red here too. SPY doing good, but a lot of other things are doing great. So again, first literally 10 minutes, pretty broad move. Let's see if that could maintain. If it does, great. If not, then yeah. But then you have data tomorrow, and remember, just a lot less earnings every other week by the morning, and then even as we move through, you know, you were waiting on earnings, so you're not getting that same effect. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, Intel CEO is going to White House. Liputan. Oh, XLV on the low now? What? No, that glitched. That's so weird. I just saw it there. But a couple of staples are coming down right now. So watch out. They started good. Staples are actually first ones to go red amongst a few others. There's Ethereum running like we talked about. Yeah, Fig, the plays from last week are getting a bid, but only problem is the September ones still they're not really there. So that's just from the watch list from last week. There's Fig on the high right now. ANIP, INSM. Oh, what's the other one? IBOT? No. What was homeboy? MP. IOBT. Yeah, that was the one with Keytruda. That was up 50 and went down. Nibis 72. So that one's still running up as well right now. That's crazy. That's up $20 from the 50. Sound was post earnings from last week as well. There's even ARM too, and a few others. Now you got MSTR as well. A lot of crypto and Ethereum, but these some of these small cap growth names and then chip related are all running, and then metals and material. And then oil slightly coming down, but still in the green, closer to 1% than not. Yeah, more Ethereum. High ticker. Again, we'll get a checkup here in 18 minutes, but today is definitely a lot broader. So I've already said that a couple of times, and we'll see where that leads us. Ionis, DRI, a home builder? Or no, Darden. I'm tripping. I was thinking DHI.
And they now, guys, that some would say
ANET going. Oh wait, are we in the money?
In the belief that it will pay off over time, and
that's
not
crazy.
Necessarily concerned with the
so yeah, remember I was saying the ANET.
Are they playing with the house's money, so to speak, Larry Ellison?
Well, Larry Ellison is
Yeah, the ANETs are up like 300%, but
originally
I sold them at 500. But okay, you're $5 away from the money.
If there's a need for more capital, it can't hurt
Some
to
of
have
you,
the second
depending on
richest
which one
man
you
in the
got.
world
No?
there.
Okay,
And why
Spy's
didn't
still
Amazon
moving. I need to go pee.
I don't know.
Follow me on
I
Instagram
don't
at the
know.
Trading
I don't-
Fraternity.
I'll ask,
Real
obviously,
Coat News on
once we
Twitter.
find Mark,
Buy a
in
membership
terms
as
of
well if you
where
would
the
like.
competitive
And God
landscape
bless
was, but
America.
certainly there was a
Thank
belief
you,
perhaps,
veterans.
Netflix or ESPN or Warner Brothers Discovery certainly were in there as well.
Do we get a rebate, those of us who are, where they're our agent? Do we get like a dividend?
You don't get anything. No.
But-
just make sure you pay and pay on time.
Checks in the mail, Jim.
Yeah.
Trust me.
All
I
right.
thought we
Make
might
sure
get
you don't stiff your
like
agent.
Kind of a, no?
No.
No, how about a stock buyback?
You get nothing. You get nothing, and you're going to like it.
Meantime, AMC pre-market is higher. I don't know if you saw the quarter-on-quarter attendance up 50%. Revenue per patron above $12. Food and beverage all-time high, $7.50.
Well, I mean, look, they got to fix that balance sheet, get that stock up, make it a meme stock again, and then offer some more stock. And that would make me feel better. They really still didn't. They never fixed the balance sheet. That's why that stock's at 3. Remember, they also did a reverse split, so it's not. Don't get your hopes up there.
Well, I never did. I never did.
Box office.
Aaron was able to pull out a lot of money, though.
Well, but he was for estate planning. See, David doesn't know.
Estate
For estate
planning.
planning.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. But his estate,
He
it
would
counts
tell
for
you,
that.
now, right now, he's going to say, I announced it, I was out
did.
there,
He
I
did.
said it,
He
so
did.
give me a break, Jim.
He did. Listen,
Give you
it's
plenty of chance to sell for the people, the meme
better
people
to
want
be
to go.
lucky than smart. It's like he didn't control the fact that
No.
it became a meme craze and was able to sell.
Yeah.
Obviously, they sold a lot of stock at the market as well.
Right, and all of his
to raise
meme
capital.
people had a great chance to go. No, but they felt, you know what? He doesn't know what he's doing. He's the CEO. I'm sticking with it.
Didn't they buy a gold mine in there at one point?
Yeah, it
too?
was.
There
Yeah,
was
they got a
there
little
was
bit of a
play.
gold exposure there.
IMAX is a nice contrast, though. A 5-year chart of IMAX,
IMAX
which
is doing really, really
has leveraged
well.
a fairly healthy North American box office this summer.
That's the winner in that space. They've done really well. Good for them.
Rich Gelfond.
Yeah.
Hey.
I think he just extended, too.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Extended as a contributor?
He'll like that.
He will.
Jim, Bitcoin's on the move today. A lot of the crypto stocks as well. We're not quite back to 123K, but we're close.
Well, it just continues to be, anytime you ever hear about what size the deficit is, or David, you know that the trillions of dollars and the interest has made a lot of younger people feel, this and Ethereum are a better place to be. I'm a huge believer in this, by the way, because I have very little faith that we're going to be able to grow our way out of. I cannot think about how we're going to grow our way out of our situation yet. Maybe.
You mean our debt to GDP?
I've not been able to figure out a way, so it's a great.
Oh yeah,
challenge
I figured it out 3
against
weeks ago.
It conceivably is.
Gold, hidden
But if
assets,
there's
and
financial
not found money.
Armageddon.
And now Michael Wilson's talking about that. So yeah, we figured it out, Jim. Thank you. Other than that, do you guys notice MP right now? So again, MP is doing the little $80 thing. Like I'm telling you, it's either going to top out at the 80s. It already hit $2 higher. So we either make the crazy run or that's it. But now a lot of things are going crazy. I'm seeing STX, AMD, Tesla, and a few others. And then again, you already were getting that pump there on crypto. Military ready to deploy National Guard in DC. Yeah, they're trying to take back DC. ARM as well. Bro, it's crazy. The gold thing from if you guys have been watching along, that was just for the Watchlist people, because you have to be locked into some of our theories early. But yeah, we've gotten some confirmation on the gold stuff, which is very, very trippy. Kind of trips me out. TEM, and then AMD again. TEM, that was up 6. Coin as well is starting to go. And then SPY, again, you're only up by 0.04. Dow actually went negative. That was green there in the morning. NASDAQ and SPY are green. And then Russell and Equal Weight, it's a lot more broadened out today. I'm telling you. That's crazy. All these Mondays, bro. We come back and then it just makes this weird Monday move. It doesn't look that big, but Equal Weight. Actually, Equal Weight just dropped. So, very odd. I think it's more crypto. Oh, yeah. I'm sure by end of the day, this is going to look a little different. So, yeah, you got a lot of stuff moving right now. And now NASDAQ is coming up. But Dow gave up like half of it, bro. So now Dow and Equaway they're still leading and they're doing great, but it's just not the same it was just 20 minutes ago. That one little back and forth just whoop. So lots of changes. NASDAQ, Amazon. Amazon did good. I like them. I mean, they're just kind of chilling though. But they weren't the sexy one off of earnings. Again, Microsoft and Meta, that was the sexy earnings this week or this quarter. Everything else was kind of just, you know, it justified the run-up that they've had even since like April or May. I don't know about the walkthrough in Fort Knox. Yeah, they stopped talking about that, but I think they'll talk about it when it's necessary. I'm being dead serious with you guys. Like a month ago when we were talking about it, it was like you were cuckoo. You know, talking about a revaluation of gold in the context we were and like all of it, it sounded nuts. And I said it when I told you that. I mean, welcome to my mind. But at the end of the day, it's really real now. So, you know, I'm sure by the next time you start hearing them talk about Fort Knox, you know, you might hear that in the conversation about revaluing and all of that. Again, just remember, this is what Michael Wilson added to the conversation over the weekend. He pretty much said that, you know, the reality, who owns the most gold? Do you guys not realize that central banks are owners of gold? Like you and I, we own physical gold, but we don't own shit compared to what some of these other people have and like countries. Again, even the Swiss have, you know, that's their number one export is gold. So it's kind of crazy to think about, but all of these central banks have like at minimum, I would say 5% if they faded it. Otherwise, they have 20% of gold on their balance sheet. So if you had a coordinated revaluation, that would be one way to get out of some BS deficits. It's fake, but it'd work. And like I'm saying, though, just people are talking about it now. And just the reality is the people who would benefit the most off of it are the central banks, as odd as that may sound. Yeah, Roblo going up. I don't know, though. Roblo kind of freaked me out. Again, remember, I've been telling you guys Roblo since $40, if you can recall. Some of you made fun of me for it. But anyways, the point is, Roblo, they banned a YouTuber who was finding, like, PDF files on the platform. Kind of weird. I saw that over the weekend. So this kid would make videos, like, catching predators on Roblo, and Roblox sent him a cease and desist. So as somebody who's owned this since like 20 or 40 bucks, that's kind of whack, Roblo. I don't know, Roblo. You got to protect the kids, Roblo. And they playing around. ANET's still going as well. Oh wow, the MP contracts are launching a little harder now. They have not been that expensive in a while. So now you can make them double free. I want to hold it for 100, but I don't know. Yeah, those MPs are really rocketing now. It's coming down a little bit. FMC, dude, I'm telling you, Freddie and Franny, he's hinting at it, but I'm starting to understand their plan with it. It would be massive. It would be crazy. I think it'd be good for some of the younger guys and some of you who are having trouble qualifying for homes. I think if you got like a federal mortgage that's funded by Wall Street and then government giving you loans for some of these programs, it could be very, very, very good. It might ultimately lead into another bubble, but we'll talk about that later. Oh, after Battlefield? I played it. It worked without a code. And then I'm being dead serious, you guys. If you could play Battlefield 6 and you went through all of those steps to get the Battlefield 6 beta, you could get a mortgage. Even playing the game Battlefield 6 is it's complicated. I'm telling you, I was getting more stressed out about downloading and getting that set up than actually getting a mortgage. And I know that may sound wild to some of you, but for real, y'all have a crazy level of tenacity with these video games. And I'm telling you, I'm just getting older, But I was like, bro, this is so nonsense. I was getting so mad. It reminded me of like, bro, what do you mean income verification? What do you mean I got to send in my W-2? I'm like, what do you mean I got to go get an appraisal? That's what it felt like. It literally felt like I was getting a mortgage. It was a fun game, but even like the whole process, it's like a big ass map. You guys got to, bro, you just got to tune your mind to what's going to help y'all, because I'm telling you, man, it was like getting a mortgage playing Battlefield 6. It was pissing me off, bro. It was like you had to commit, dog. That was a commitment. So yeah, y'all commit to the property too, bro. And I think if you could play Battlefield, you could easily get a mortgage. I'm not even worried about you. I'm serious, because if you went through those steps to get the beta, then shit, bro. FHA is in your future. I think you'll do all of it. You'll figure it out. I know you hella waiting. They put you in a queue. You gotta wait. I'm like, dude, what is this, bro? Fun game though, bro. It brought back memories of BF2. All right, you're slipping from the 6,400 again. 6,388. I guess gap fill. We didn't fill that gap from last week. This one right here. Yeah, so 6,237. Technically, this one is not filled either. So 6,344 as well. YSR. SPY coming down a little bit, and then notice Dow and SPY and NASDAQ gave it up. NASDAQ was starting to run there a little bit, and then equal weight flipped. But equal weight should still be in the green, but now I think they're still kind of matching up. So let's see. Yeah, equal weight hadn't moved. Equal weight's still up by a quarter. Equal weight's now matched up exactly with the Russell. It started to outperform. So slightly broadened out, not as good as 30 minutes ago, but we'll see how it ends up. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. And again, we have a big week, you guys. Today's still kind of the pregame, because tomorrow you have the CPI, and then every other day from there, we're gonna get more data, and then more potential events, and AI, robotics, and then ultimately Russia, and maybe even some China. LVS on the low. All right, and then SPY's near the low. FTNT. Fortinet, so I feel like software is not doing too bad. Yeah, once again, all the software plays, they go in bursts. I feel like software is its own little category on some of these mornings. You'll see them all kind of go in tandem. Ooh, Eli Lilly. So yeah, Eli Lilly, again, it got murdered last week. This was the let the dust settle. Started at 620, now it's at 640. Sarepta, remember we hit that one not too long ago, and then they brushed off the Elevis stuff. I clapped them. Circles on the high. What was the other one running? Fig and Nibis. Palo Alto, that's another. Again, Sarepta, you got 30 cents, pretty decent, 2%. Sarepta starting to run. Waiting for the fireworks, baby. Hey, man, you get it. You get it. That's all you got to do. Elf on the high. Elf, I got to upgrade. I think it was Morgan Stanley or GS. But yeah, they're starting to move. And then SPY, little bounce there, right to VWAP, TGL. Whoa, Treasure Global, 13%. I don't think that was on that candle. There's a little bit more. Trump might be live. I don't know. I'm not. Trump, I don't know if you guys noticed. He hasn't been going live during the day. It's been a while since I see motherfucker, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, wait. Trump to tackle homelessness in D.C. Is Trump about to do a press briefing? Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, they're all in the press room right now. No way. All right. Pardon me. Yeah, bro, this press room is packed. But yeah, I think Donald Trump might be there. Yeah, and they're already getting up. It's scheduled at 10. Usually they lag, so very interesting. And then Elf getting more volume. I already had that up there. They also had to upgrade. And the SPY is doing very good.
It's actually bridging lots of different stuff. Okay.
He's saying something about he's going to be on DC and homelessness, and then whatever they're doing, the whole like take back DC. He called it the Liberation Day of DC. So I don't know if it'll be market moving, but just keep your eyes out for anything hinted at with China. Again, China deal, Russia, those are the things that Trump can control. Are you guys understanding? Tomorrow you're going to get CPI, kind of outside of his control unless he fires everybody else. But think about it. The other ones are just like more policy. So you have Russia, China. That's what we want to pay attention to with politics and Trump. And then everything else, you just want whatever the data results, hot, slow, weak jobs or not. And then we'll be getting that from tomorrow. SBET, and again, all the Ethereum plays are running as that gets active. Eli Lilly's still going as well, too. I don't know if he's coming to town again, but Trump was talking on Friday how he would be down to visit China by the end of the year. Microsoft's starting to go now, too. Okay. Microsoft, Qualys. AI got murked earlier. Again, I think they were down 26. Yeah, they're still down 25%, and they've rocketed up. All right, man. 2 more minutes till top of the hour. I'll get you guys a checkup, and then again, we are waiting for the president of the United States of America. Net on the high. Again, that's another software play, like I'm saying. All the software tech ones are doing pretty good.
Last
then
time.
MP, dog.
What?
MO as well. Hopefully you took those if you got it. FNMA, is that real? Probably, yeah. I see it. Remember, this thing was worthless. Remember, it's an OTC stock, even though it's like government conservatorship. It's so weird. And it's been OTC for most of my life, which is wild. A wild concept to think about, especially if you know what they own. The assets of them are just truly magnificent. IOBT, it's because it didn't meet the primary endpoint. So it did good, but it didn't. Like, technically it was a fail of their trial, but it was right at the cusp. I only like IOBT because it's related to Keytruda. And Keytruda is a very big drug, and it's very big right now. So if you have a successful combination with a drug, chances are the company is going to buy you. So that's why I think it got a little bit of a bid, but then it's fading because technically it was a miss, but it's right there. It was a very slight miss of statistical significance on the trial, but I think if they did have it, they would instantly become a buyout candidate, like we've seen with some other biotechs just not too long ago. I forgot which one that was, though. We saw one like that get bought out. Data Kelba. And SPY, bro. You saw that? We hit the low, 6 minutes, boom. You're right back up. Everything's technically green. The Dow kind of chilling. Russell is still the leader there. And then, yeah, equal weight. Actually, Russell is now doing better than equal weight. They're just matched up. I hope you guys see that, bro. It takes 5 minutes to change everything. So you'll be one way, 5 minutes later, boom, new leader. We looked another way, 5 minutes later, boom, tech comes back up. Started off very weak in the morning, so you're getting that back and forth. Be mindful of that. Geo getting some lows, 2 to 3%. Long term is coming to town. Again, Microsoft started waking up there. It wasn't like that in the beginning. Yeah, Microsoft woke up.
Once again, you're right. This issue will be front and center with the president.
118. Woo! Thank you, my friend.
A lot of focus, of course, will be the president's comments on his plan and his words to tackle a crime rate here in D.C. that he believes is unacceptable. Murders.
Oh, they're letting him do like a Fox. This is like an intro for the TV.
While numbers appear to peak in 2023, we have seen a death where the president still believes that the crime in the district.
MPO and MP and MO, I know, bro.
What do we expect to do?
Anywhere from 100 to 1,000% just by listening. But like, I'm gonna remind you guys, chats don't disappear anymore, okay? So be careful, because you have chads that are trying to trick you into breaking the rules too. So that's part of it. You guys realize that. You must know the rules, otherwise you might trip each other up. So yeah, follow the rules, brother. Follow the rules. Chewy on the high. XLF as well too. Again, Datadog Unity's on the high now.
I remember we saw a number of carjackings from the last 2 years or so where it was shocking to find out that it'd be a 14 or 15-year-old that would rob somebody at gunpoint and, of course, make off with the vehicle as well.
Wow.
We know that the new U.S. Attorney for D.C. has also been urging the city council to come in.
MSTR spies at the high.
But one of the biggest questions also will be about whether or not the president will have such authority to do what he's likely to unveil here. The White House already giving out a fact sheet of what they say is some of the arrests that were made over the weekend with the help of additional federal law enforcement sources. One of the other questions would be whether or not we'll see
Dell running.
rein in some of DC's self-governing authority that dates back several decades. It's something that Republicans up on the Hill have talked about for a long time, but may not have had the votes to do just that. DC has a Democratic mayor, Muriel Bowser, who had been critical of Trump in the past, especially after what happened in early in 2021. But since then, they seem to have found somewhat of a working relationship. She was on another network over the weekend.
All right, I got two. I'm fine. I'm doing a sweet spot, but this one needs more. Actually, no, it doesn't work. Never mind. Ignore what I just said. Unity. Abbott on the low. Ouster as well and a few others. Stafford. I know, bro. I love hearing it, man. All of it. All of it. Dude, we had a trippy, bro. I'll tell you guys that maybe during Philo it was trippy.
Talk also about crime this year compared to years past. DC police, as well as the mayor's office, has been trying to point that crime is still down from what they saw just a few years ago. But crime before the pandemic still a major issue. And I'd like to talk about the incidents over the weekend. It is still everywhere. Whether you're even just leaving the White House, going up to the National Mall area, H Street corridor, if you've been to DC, there is a lot of this area that is absolutely still under concern for DC police. There's also been a question about resources, how many officers left the force after the pandemic. Dana, we'll see if the president weighs in on this, as well as his upcoming summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday. Dana. Thank you.
Is it Bray's birthday?
All right, Gabe, no pressure.
Eli Lilly's still going. That sucks. Hoorah, first ever purchase from Congress. Nice. Yeah, I know it's a shit, like one of the oil places. This is like a low quality oil one, but if oil goes crazy, it'll move. Where's MP at? I'm sorry, I'm looking for something. I'm doing, because I don't know if you guys realized it. I was hyped on it. Apple last week. I'm figuring something out with options. Isn't that crazy, guys? I'm actually learning something new with options. I know, right when I thought I had it all figured out, I'm learning even more. So, yeah, but I'm trying to figure something out. That's why, like, it worked with the Apple, where, like, and we did it a couple times this year. I need the right setup, but we could find the sweet spot. And that's where it's like, you know, some of these contracts, it's the difference between 500% and like 5,000%. So, yeah, and then McDonald's coming up, and then you guys were saying Dell. But yeah, that's why I got quiet. I thought I found one, but I don't think it is. We'll find out. All right. I like the longer dated one too. Mr. Trump.
Hi there, Honor. Good morning. Well, good morning from a very packed briefing room here. And as you mentioned, the President, a lot of questions were about how this deployment of the National Guard might be undertaken. As you said, the administration already deploying 500 federal officers over the weekend. Just handing out fact sheets detailing some of the arrests that they have made. But according to the INTC data, crime in the district is 56%.
Oh, which was that one? Alright, this one's gonna be shitty, but pretty much longer dated ones are gonna be more likely to hit for you on some of the pricing, or if you're looking for cheaper ones. But some of these plays, you know, think about what we're dealing with this week. You're either gonna have the two factors related to Trump, which is either gonna be the war in China, and then the other part is gonna be data. So if you play in one of these events and it doesn't line up, just know that's why you got to keep them small. Because if it don't hit, so Trump in certain things, and you're playing that front run, you will get clapped. Otherwise, if it goes through, I mean, we have been rewarded on those. I love how the spy's just staying there. It chilled for us. Now it's moving. I was figuring that out. A honeybee stung you? Oh man, I'm sorry. I've never been stung by a bee. Knock on wood. TLT's going up too. Again, it kind of looks like the SPY. In the beginning, they were actually moving a little opposite. AMD going. Whoa, and chips. All right, TGTX. A couple of things are starting to run. You even got ARC as well. Are they just chatting, bro? Where's homeboy? Okay, SPY new high. Are we back above 6,400? We might be. 63.97. This is the highest you've been since last Friday. So really, since like right before the jobs report. This is still the Powell zone, but yeah, I think you guys could see it. So yeah, you're still climbing 63.97. You're gonna probably do 64, then 64.03, or 64.07, 64.08, and then if you get above there, if we could get above 64.08, before you know it, we'll be going near all-time highs. IonQ, Broadcom, and again, it's 10:11. So let me get you guys that checkup now. Let's see what we're working with. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Dow Jones 16 in the green, 14 in the red, slightly green. Dow's actually negative right now. NASDAQ just went green and it's up near a quarter, but NASDAQ 58 green, 42 in the red. So there's a lot more room to either go up or down on the NASI. That needs to still figure it out. And then SPY, 288 in the green, 211 in the red. So, yeah, everything's still 50-50. You could go either direction, but we're climbing back to 6,400, and then that will be the road to another all-time high. I don't know if there's a quantum headline, but I see them all. Literally, IonQ, Qubits, and every single one of them was going up there. SoFi news, I'm not sure. I think we read something in the morning. I don't have anything right now, but let's see. SE, HE, a couple of those energy, oil, small caps are moving. I don't see anything on. I thought there was something with SoFi, but no, I don't have anything when I look. Kellogg's. Oh, Reddit. That would have been good. I'm glad we got rid of that play, though, last week. That wouldn't have held. The Laggeroony, Chattadoony. And then MP's slowing down a little bit. The contracts aren't as high, but still good. Again, your Albemarle, Fannie, and Freddie. AMD's been doing good since earnings, man. Not bad. Rigetti. Yeah, all the quantum plays are going. AMD, too, 175. And then IonQ, another quantum. Again, any second now, we're supposed to get Trump, so that's why I'm like, we'll see where this leads us. But yeah, I didn't even think. It's been a while since he's been live. They're all sitting down. I've had this up. That's the little background noise you keep hearing. On Orsted? I don't know. You have an interview with them tomorrow? Well, good luck, man. I hope it works out. I don't recall what you're asking me. Eli Lilly, Drip, EVH. Where's Elevance? Elevance and healthcare. Roblo, 130, 132. Iran published a list of senior officials in Israel that are targeted for assassination. Okay. Hi. EQ halted. I can't type it. Equilium up 79%. I see CoreWeave Barron's article. Nibis. It mentions Nibis and CoreWeave. They're saying that Nibis is helping bring up CoreWeave. But again, Nibis did do 50% from the breakout level. Remember, 55, that was that zone, and now it's at the 70s. So yeah, that's what they're saying, though. I didn't know there was a Barron's article. Summit, that's a biotech. Remember, you've seen a couple of those move today, except for Merck. And then MDT was just climbing up as well. You thought it was Equifax? No, you're good. Equifax. But I'm telling you, the mortgages, you guys, and this I'm so mad I was just too excited about everything else. But, dude, the Freddie Fannie is very important. And what it could lead to is actually, like, very, very clutch. It's just me. Pledge of Allegiance, it caught your eye. Are you saying oust? I remember reading oust in the morning on one of these, but otherwise I'm not following. I think ouster got something. Yeah, I'm not. If you could remind me, give me another clue, but I can't. I don't know what you're talking about. App on the high. Oh, and then Uber. Uber. Yeah, all the quantum just took off in the last like 5 minutes. I don't know why. Orsted. Oh yeah. Ask me next time on it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I remember Oust, not Orsted. I remember O-U-S-T. Core's on the high again. That one was related to CoreWeave as well too. Nibis. Okay, well, SPY, dude, this feels like the last couple weeks. Remember the whole bounce around to go nowhere? AMD confirms it has gotten Chinese export license. Remember, that cost them, what, $800 million on their last earnings? That's how much they wrote off on the inventory thing. So, yeah. The LYV on the high, I think they were trading lower earlier. Oh, yeah, Live Nation kind of running. And then, dude, we're not moving. So, been only just under an hour, 15 more minutes. But other than that, yeah, this is what I was looking for last week. We only had 1 day of it. So, we'll see if it actually ends up holding. What was that? Yo, something. Fang. You got SPY going a little crazy, but then energy's moving right now. I think is Trump going to come out? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Oil. You got a couple things moving right now. So see, and then again, Trump should be live at any second now. Come on. I don't know if that is it the AMD stuff. Oh yeah, you just got a weird little pop right there, and then oil and energy, but nothing else. Keep an eye on the dollar as well. I put up the other one because energy started moving off of it, but decent candle. I don't know if that was anything. Disney on the low. Disney kind of flushing. Disney's down $1 in like 6-7 minutes. I see the AMD thing. That one's confirmed as well. $1.30. Oh, I think they delayed it to 10 minutes. I hear them talking. They're saying 1:30 now Eastern, but no, it's 10 Eastern. I'm so confused. That RFK? Who's that? No, I don't know who that is. Disney lost here again. Disney's moving down right now. AMD's still running on the China export news. It was already doing good too. 3M starting to hit the highs as well, but. See if the SPY works up. We are still waiting on your boy, Donald. Please, Donald. Opera. Okay, moving up slightly again. I don't have a headline on Disney, but that's starting to drop. 3M this is like its 20th high of the day, so that's just starting. AMD keeps going. I haven't really looked at Mag 7 today. So again, today's been a little bit broader.
They made no official announcements, so I don't know whatever you heard from them. So it's still on standby.
Wait, what?
Thank you very much.
You hear that? He said there was no official announcement, so they don't know why they're all here. So they're still on standby for the press. That's actually really funny. That's what I was saying, bro. I was like, I haven't heard Trump live in a while, and then this was already there. This was already getting ready. Everybody was piling in, but yeah, it's already behind schedule, and then they don't really have something defined yet. Yeah, let's see. I don't know. Then AMD still moving, and then RTX now. That's a couple of highs, and then QSR, again, restaurants. Bro, me and my mom, we had a Sweet Greens talk yesterday too. I don't know how you guys feel. My mom still, she's like, it got voted #1 health food, but she's like, I still don't like it. So my mom still thinks Sweet Green is trash, but she heard about it. I explained to her. I was talking to her about the stock going from like 7 to 40 and back down. So, but yeah, we literally talked Sweet Greens yesterday. Because I was going to get it, but instead I went with a pizza. I know, isn't that crazy? I got a pizza instead of Sweet Greens. Roblo claims independent sting operations undermine official investigations. I don't know, Roblo. You guys have a bad rep. Again, as a shareholder from day one. Yeah, I don't know. I think you guys should stop it, Roblo. I'm on the YouTuber side, Roblo. Pizza. No, I got the little pizza shop on the beach. You know, they ain't got no Papa John's. It's too bougie. Pizza. Big fan of pizza though. I like Sweet Greens. It's like it reminds me of like the top tier meal prep. It's just like super healthy, like salad bowls. Put some chicken in there. I like it. I enjoy it when I want to eat healthy and I don't feel like shit afterwards. That's why I appreciate it. But yeah, that's it. I bought more pizza. No, I think you're do you have a plan or no? Because you're really jumpy. If I'm having a conversation about food and you're like, did you buy the stock? That's not what happened, brother. You need to slow it down, calm down. Again, we've only made 2 actions this whole entire year. So you guys got to lock in. I'll let you know when I do make an action, but yeah, nothing crazy. A-Lab on the high, 52-week high. I'm hungry too, bro. I kind of need a protein right now. I don't know why. Eli Lilly too, all day. That one's still riding. So again, they got destroyed last week. Eli Lilly, where is Donald Trump? I don't know if NVIDIA got the approval, but AMD just announced that they got the export license. So we'll see. And then I need to go to the bathroom. I thought I was trying to wait till Trump gets there, but yeah. No. I think I said, but again, I've been addressing this for the people here. If you're stream alerts and you're not getting them, that means your contact info, you did not have it on there. So we are going to have to cancel you and we'll refund you. But if you don't have your contact info and you're not receiving it, that's probably the main reason. So if they're not coming in, unfortunately, you guys just need to cancel and we'll get you a refund on there. And then we'll set it up. But that means there's a lot of people, I don't know how, but some people just did not have their info and that's not allowed. So yeah, if that was you and if that's where you fell under that category, we have to remove you, unfortunately. We will be reopening stream alerts eventually, but I encourage you to focus on the long term. Uber. Can do push-ups. We're gonna start at 8:30, but yeah, guess I'm in. I need to go pee though. I really need to go. I will BR me.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. Real Cult News on Twitter. If you get the watch list or the membership, you'll get the watch list, and then you also have a time machine.
Ironically, we have some Fox Nation going. We have CW.
Okay, BRB.
But there is more to sell there. Probably not at these levels, David. But it will round out the equation.
Well, I actually believe putting David on
the
the
video
bowl
running
gets
too
huge
right
numbers.
now.
That would. Very briefly for the 30, maybe for the 10 seconds that I lasted.
You're getting movement as I'm leaving. WTO tariff measure.
Yeah, I'm also.
Well, I just want to go pee.
Itself,
damn it.
especially in the AI era, seems to be perhaps
UFC
the only
drops
thing you can
pay-per-view.
kind of bank
You got
on
a
as
couple of things
programming.
happening right now.
Well,
WTO
as David
initiates
Ellison said on
Brazil
Friday,
tariff
sports is a big
measure,
thing.
and
The
then
pricing
you
of
just had
sports
NVIDIA
is,
starting to
I
go
think,
crazy right
and
now.
Our sports are kind of premium in that space right now. It drives subs. So yes.
Look, sports at the end of the day, it's the last thing that unifies us.
Yeah.
Everything on television, you are watching, streaming, TV, your screen. What are you watching for? You're watching for rooting interest. You're watching for rivalries. You're watching for dynasties. It truly is that last bastion of unifying content. We're sitting right in the middle of it with UFC, which is similar to the WWE, very young, very diverse, global, and a very strong female base. 35 to 40% of our audience is female for both WWE and UFC.
And for all of them,
yes,
they're year long.
Right, they're around. They're all.
There's
around.
no.
Now you mentioned global. What about the international rights here? Sold separately. Paramount has a right potentially to bid on them.
So
explain that.
We merged both PBR, IMG, and On Location in
6 months ago.
6 months ago. IMG has handled the international rights for years. Paramount will have a right as they go internationally to bid on them as they expand their business. But right now, it's a great business for us, and it will continue.
At IMG, industry best. Mark McCormick started this company. I mean, they are the global leader in media distribution, primarily sports. They are out with 150 properties every day to sell around the world and on planes and on boats. So they do a great job selling UFC right now across 210 different countries around the world in 50 different languages. We have 600 fighters that hail from 75 different countries. So we like our chances, and the acquisition, to Ari's point on IMG, the underpinning for it shows itself here.
On some of the deals, people wanted the international, which would have taken away that economics. We now still retain that economics in addition to the domestic deal.
Yeah.
So that's an added.
And you think, I mean, obviously, you think Paramount's going to be able to make money on this? Because I did talk to a couple of other, let's call them senior executives at firms that bid on this, and they're like, I couldn't make it work past this number, and it wasn't near 1.1 billion.
Here's what I would say to you. Everybody has a different reasoning. As I said, Netflix wanted live events to build their advertising model. Other people wanted the pay-per-views. In this situation, we have shown in the past with our ESPN deal that we drive sub, which is crucial to David's strategy.
And David,
yes.
We would never, I mean, we represented David Ellison and Skydance for quite some time at William Morris, right? William Morris Endeavor. We'd never bet against him. He has put together an A-class team. He's surrounded by Jerry Cardinal from Redbird. He's got Jeff Shell, Andy Gordon. I mean, up and down the line, Cindy Holland, David Burson, George Cheeks, Efren Narone, who did this deal. We are a believer that he's curated an A-class team.
And they're wild guys.
It is going to take time.
I don't know if you've noticed the linear cable network business. It's not very good. Okay, and they still have a lot of.
As David said to you, one of his most important things is as cable kind of loses ground, he's got to build up his direct-to-consumer business. We have shown with our products that it drives consumers to that.
Yeah. So, you know what would be the easiest thing for him to do? Is just come in, like he told you on Friday, we're going to streamline, we're going to get rid of redundancy, we're going to cut some costs, we're going to get our house in order. But while he's doing that, he's changing the tires going 90 miles an hour on the freeway. He's being opportunistic. The UFC is here and now.
When are they doing the White House one, bro? I was like, what's that noise? Yeah, Trump's still not on yet. But yeah, you had a little bit of a pull. We've done this a couple of times. That one, it correlated with the WTO news, but still nothing crazy. AMD and then NVIDIA started to take off. So all the other chips are doing good, and then NVIDIA started to move. Again, 180. I think it's near one of those highs. Coinbase now, too. Again, this morning has been about Ethereum. Pam Bondi will be at the White House press conference. So this thing. So again, they're saying maybe in the next minute at 1:30 or 10:30, but I don't know. We will find out. BMNR again with the Ethereum and crypto. That's going up. Oh, I heard a door open. You see them all. Oh. Robinhood, 117. And then sound is going up there. The high-low ticker is like kind of matched up. You had a little bit more drop in, but remember, today has been broadening out. So the Dow is the only one in the red. The normal SPY, not equal weight, that wants to come down, but yeah, actually equal weight is giving it up though. Holy shit. So yeah, this is very odd. All right, so we started one way. You shifted like 3 different times, and then meanwhile, a couple of names like crypto and then Ethereum are just going nuts. But yeah, you're kind of now equal weight is negative. Meanwhile, SPY's barely green. Ford plans $5 billion EV investment with focus on low-cost models. Why? I don't know why Ford is going up. $5 billion on EV investments. Crypto firm Paxos says it's applying for trust bank license with Office of Comptroller. AMD still ripping. And BMNR. Now Intel. So yeah, you had Intel was actually the first one that was up 3 this morning. Now AMD, and then NVIDIA is right behind it. AIP too. That's the one alongside of AMD. Remember, they even had earnings there not too long ago. But yeah, SPY's coming down a little bit below open. We've just been doing this back and forth for about an hour. IMAX, RCL, NEUP, TLT as well, but it wants to move. Nothing yet. Ford plans affordable line of electric vehicles. But last time, didn't they do that last time and then it just costed them? And then it just ended up not being good. Again, the Mach-E and then the other one. Okay, the high ticker is starting to pick up. There's still a lot of names on the low too, though. That is the odd part. Like I said, it was about 50-50 to start. Dow is now worse. Dow has 20 names red, 10 in the green. So 5 more names even flipped. NASDAQ, you got more names red, 46 in the green. So in a weird way, you have more things going red. SPY now 270 or 280 in the red. It was 280 green not too long ago. So you're like right in the middle. And then again, you're getting these candles. A couple of things are popping. I think chips are in a world of their own, and healthcare actually, or at least health tech. Oh, because Eli Lilly. That would make sense. Coin as well. Yeah, I don't know. Ford just moving around. IBM on the low. Dell again today in Mag 7. It started off pretty weak. It just hasn't done much. CEP2, that's part of those crypto ones. Tegna. SMCI, big volume. I don't see that, but we'll see. Chips. I think all the chips are up. Yeah, SMH is up 1%. BMNR again, ripping. Procter Gamble is, I haven't looked at Staples yet. Staples sold off. Yeah, Staples do not look rotationary. Even though we've had a little bit of flip-flop today, back and forth, you're not really getting that consumer staple lead. Again, healthcare, but I think that's being driven by Eli Lilly. But not bad. Not bad at all. All right, chips are starting to come down. Again, you just had the AMD and NVIDIA for the last like 10 minutes. See what starts going up in its place instead. But if those all come down, we might hit the low. So if chips slow down and everything keeps doing what it was, even Ford's coming down, then yeah, we'll probably go towards low. Ford's getting a little bit worse. It's circulating. It's hitting another wire on the EV vehicles for Ford. I think gold is just the dollar. Just the dollar has been very pervasive this year. Just up or down, and when that happens, it has a lot. Not to mention some of the theories being talked about with gold, but I'm not focusing on that too much. Ford to launch 30K mid-size EV pickup in 2027. I don't know, Ford. This feels like deja vu. Didn't they already do this, and this was one of their worst decisions? Remember they did 11 billion, then they had that a couple years later they had to write it off, and then they had the bad earnings. So I don't know, kind of weird. Matt on the low. They did, right? Very interesting. Bitcoin coming up now. IBA. It was really Ethereum today. But now that's all moving. I haven't even looked at oil. Oil's actually climbing up. Oil's barely holding green. Yeah, gold's down 2.3 on futures. Then Equal H is holding. Hey. Peace. Cut. Cut. What is this? Cut? What, you see that? Why are you throwing up gang signs? What? Are you Jesse from Family? Full House? Cut it out. Well, you see that little cut? What are we doing? Okay, SPY going down a little bit more. Oh, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Oh, that's what the cut was. There you go. There you go. Look at you, Chad. 2 minutes. That was cut. The peace sign cut. 2 minutes. Yep. All right. Well, get ready though. This is kind of odd. It's been a couple months since we've actually heard Trump or anything live during market hours. It's, we get these big announcements and they'd happen afterwards. So, yeah, enjoy it, my friends, and let's see. SPY right above open. And remember, today's still a pregame. Tomorrow is going to be all about the CPI. And then you got China and Russia and everything else. So yeah, get ready for it. Big dog. BM&R again. Tesla's still up. Oust is at 30. Yeah, that's up 20 on the day. NB as well, or what was the other one? MP? Yeah, the rare earths flip. Let's see if they do their thing. MP's doing a little bit better though. But again, that $80, like we talked about, I think that range is going to be very important for MP. So we will see. I don't think he's going to announce rate cuts, but he might say too late. Oh my gosh, what's this? Look at this! I pledge allegiance to the flag of the So Chad, I am expecting you when you get to the farm that you are standing like this. Or the first time you get there, I'm gonna have everybody stand at the gate, and we're all gonna look like that, and you have to stand like that. Yeah. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America. Wow. What's up, motherfuckers?
I've never seen a crowd like this. I think we need a ballroom, and that's happening. It's going to be a beautiful ballroom. This is really a lot of people.
Gold's still on the low right now. Again, crypto's still doing its thing as well.
And we're here for a very serious purpose. Very serious purpose. Something's out of control, but we're going to put it in control very quickly, like we did on the southern border.
Wow.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're
keep an eye out for China and oil, just in case he says anything related to Russia and China.
Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control, and you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that. Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening. They've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it, too. You know, you're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that
Wait,
that
what
happened.
is he doing?
And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something.
Why are they still buying newspapers?
The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth. Much higher. This is much higher. The number of car thefts has doubled over the past 5 years, and the number of carjackings has more than tripled. Murders in 2023 reached the highest rate probably ever. They say 25 years, but they don't know what that means because
it's just SPY coming down, and then Visa, MasterCard. Watch some financials. Our
capital
even
city
Zillow
has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. Just like we did on our southern border. Nobody comes through our southern border anymore. 3 months in a row, we had zero. I don't know if that's right, but the people that do the work, it's a very liberal group of people, actually, and they actually said zero for the last 3 months. Nobody thought a thing like that was possible. And, you know, when you say take a look at numbers, I just saw
that's what I heard.
Some charts.
ADM on the high, food.
Throughout the world.
That one's interesting. And bonds catching a bid.
Okay, the red is a place called Washington, D.C. Look at these. Baghdad we doubled up on Baghdad. Panama City, Brasilia, San Jose, Costa Rica, Bogota, Colombia, heavy drugs. Mexico City, I mentioned, Lima, Peru, all double and triple what they are. So do you want to live in places like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think the people in this room, if you wrote correctly, you'd see, look at the kind of numbers we have. DC, 41 per 100,000, number one that we can find anywhere in the world. Other cities are pretty bad, but they're not as bad as that. Is that where you want to live? The reporters of the world? Juvenile offenders and crimes against persons, as they say. It's getting worse. Not getting better, it's getting worse. And we had a recent indication. There was a story about
you and H at the high. You and H up a lot. Just watch XLV, XLP, just like we did last week. That's going to be key. He's just still talking DC. He hasn't said anything related to the money. So this isn't about money.
Was asked by the city,
I'll let you know when it is.
We don't want to show the real numbers. Let me do numbers so it looks like it's going down. Not going down. And under Biden, it was a disaster. And nobody did anything about it. We're going to do things about it like you wouldn't believe. Every American has a constitutional right to be able to access and petition their government in safety, and countless federal officials and employees likewise have the right to carry out their jobs in peace without being shot. As you know, I lost a very good person a while ago, was shot waiting for his wife. He was in the car. They robbed his car. They shot him. They killed him like it was nothing to it. She was walking to the car. It's a horror show. This issue directly impacts the functioning of the federal government and is a threat to America, really. It's a threat to our country. We have other cities also that are bad, very bad. You look at Chicago, how bad it is. You look at Los Angeles, how bad it is. We have other cities that are very bad. New York has a problem. And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland. We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over this. And this will go further. We're starting very strongly with DC, and we're going to clean it up real quick, very quickly, as they say. Days ago, a former member of the DOW staff was savagely beaten by a band of roving thugs after defending a young woman from an attempted carjacking. He was left dripping in blood. He thought he was dead, with a broken nose and concussion. Can't believe that he's alive. He can't believe it. In June, a 21-year-old congressional intern was tragically killed after being hit by a stray bullet in a drive-by shooting. A former Trump administration official named Mike Gill, fantastic person, was murdered last year in cold blood in a carjacking blocks away from the White House. We all knew him. Great person. Waiting for his wife as she was walking to the car. A Democrat congressman was also carjacked at gunpoint not far from the Capitol. And in 2023, an aide to Senator Rand Paul was stabbed in the chest and head by a demented lunatic as he walked down the street, just absolutely for no reason. Horrifically, last July 4th weekend, a 3-year-old girl was shot in the head and killed while sitting in a car near the Capitol. It's becoming a situation of complete and total lawlessness. And we're getting rid of the slums, too. We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live. Caravans of mass youth rampage through city streets at all times of the day. There are ATVs, motorbikes. They travel pretty well. Entire neighborhoods are now under emergency curfews. Just this past weekend, gunfire went through, and you saw that, the Navy Yard. I saw it this morning. They saw that they fought back against law. See, they fight back until you knock the hell out of them, because it's the only language they understand. But they fought back against law enforcement last
you should
night.
do some push-ups while you're doing this, because I am.
They're not going to be fighting back long.
TKO, he hasn't said anything yet.
I've instructed them,
TKO, decent
them,
pop.
Whatever happens, you know,
Small.
they love to spit in the face of the police as the police are standing up there in uniform. They're standing and they're screaming at them an inch away from their face. And then they start spitting in their face. And I said, you tell them, you spit and we hit. And they can hit real hard.
You spit, we hit.
It's a disgusting thing. I've watched that for years, for 3-4 years. I've watched them. The police are standing, and they're told, don't do anything under any search. So and you can see they want to get at it. And they're standing there, and people are spitting in their face, and they're not allowed to do anything. But now they are allowed to do whatever the hell they want. This dire public safety crisis stems
I wouldn't say
directly
it
from
like that, sir.
the abject failures of the city's
Don't let
local
them do
leadership, the radical left.
You know, let them defend
City Council
themselves in the
adopted
land,
no
but don't
cash bail.
tell them whatever
By
the
way,
hell they want.
Every place in the
You
country,
know, just
we
how
have
you
no
remember when
cash
Biden
bail.
was like, come on
It's a
over.
disaster.
Yeah,
That's
you know
what
what I'm
started
saying?
the
Like,
problem
yeah,
in
watch
New
out,
York,
dog.
and they don't change
Woo!
it.
Yeah, Red,
They don't
other
wanna
cities
change it.
bad.
That's
No,
what
you're
started
dumping
it
on it, but it's not that
in
headline.
Chicago.
So again, you're getting two big reds. You're flushing through the low finally. It's not off of what he's saying.
The one thing that's central, no cash bail. Somebody murders somebody and they're out on no cash bail before the day is out. We're going to end that in Chicago. We're going to change the statute. I spoke with Pam and Todd and everybody. We're going to change the statute, and I'm going to have to get the Republicans to vote because the Democrats are weak on crime. Totally weak on crime. They don't know why. They want to stop because they get mugged too. But we're going to change no cash bail. We're going to change the statute and get rid of some of the other things. And we'll count on the Republicans in Congress and Senate to vote. We have the majority, so we'll vote. We don't have a big majority, but we've gotten everything, including the great, big, beautiful bill. Got that done, and that's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to people in this country. They're starting to figure it out, how good it is. Biggest tax cut in history. So many things. But we'll be able to get that done. So, Todd, if you and Pam can draw up things working with the people, we will. I'll get it passed. We'll get it passed with the Republicans. Probably won't get, think of this, probably won't get one Democrat vote because they have no idea what they're doing. That's why they want men playing in women's sports. That's why they want transgender for everybody transgender. And they just got walloped in an election, in a landslide, and they haven't changed one thing. I saw the other day the certain gentleman who was a very well-known politician, Democrat, was fighting like hell that men should be allowed to play in women's sport. They just don't get it. They said it's an 80-20 issue, and I think it's a 97-3 issue. And I don't know who the three are. I've never heard anybody nobody's ever come up to me, sir, you have to let men play in women's sports. You have to do it, sir. Nobody's ever approached me. I don't know where this issue even comes from.
No one's came up to me.
Never seen anything like it.
TTD on the high.
But they turned our nation's capital into a sanctuary jurisdiction. That's the other thing. We have to get rid of sanctuary cities as quickly as possible. We're going to do it, too. We have to. Because it's sanctuary for criminals. Releasing illegal alien gang members onto the streets in 2022, nearly 70% of criminals arrested in Washington went unprosecuted. That's not going to happen with the group we have standing aside and standing behind me. And at the Metropolitan Police Department, it's now reached a small number relatively compared to what it was, but it's thousands of people. You know, we have thousands of police. I was told today, sir, they want more police. I heard a number, 3,500 police. That's a lot of police. 3,500. I thought they were going to say, we only have 30 policemen or women. They said, we have 3,500. We need more. You don't need more. That's so many. I never heard. That's like an army. How could you need more than 3,000? It just happened 2 minutes ago.
So
they requested more police.
Bro, how do you? I get how some of you don't like him, but I fucking love this dude. I don't care.
It's ridiculous. What you need is rules
This is our
and
president, dog.
and you need the right
you
people
kidding
to
me?
implement them. And we
I
have the
love
right
it.
people here.
It's a very raw, and I love
Look
to
at the
hear.
border.
As somebody who
Biden
goes live
said
for 7
there's nothing
hours
you
every
can do.
day,
Kamala was
very,
the border
you know what I'm
zone. She never
saying? Like,
called
I
one of
like,
the
I
border
like
patrol
this.
agents who are great. ICE is great. Never spoke to anybody. Never went there. But she was the
How
border
can you
czar.
not like him? Oh, believe
And
me.
everybody said
I
it was
have a
impossible
full
to
chat
fix.
room.
I
I can
fixed it in
explain. I
3
can
months.
get you reasons if
No,
you really want.
really, I fixed it the first week.
So
But
yeah.
really fixed it over the last couple of months. And I mean, literally to a point where, as I said, 0 illegals entering our country in the last 90 days. Pretty amazing. It's time for dramatic action. We're going to do the same thing over here. It's going to be a very safe city very soon. We're not looking to take years, because a lot of people die in years. And we've got incredible people in this country, except we have to allow them to do their job.
Amen.
And that we will deliver like nobody's ever delivered before. I actually think it's easy. You know, if you're competent, it's easy. If you're incompetent, it's impossible. But I'm very competent. Last week, my administration surged 500 federal agents into the district, including from the FBI, ATF, DEA, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, the Secret Service, and the Department of Homeland Security. You know, a lot of nations, they don't have anything like that. They got some police, and they're rough police. They don't have DEA, ATF, FBI, Park Police, the U.S. Marshal Service, Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security. They got some police, but they're rough police, and they do their job. They don't have crime. We're not gonna have crime either. They made dozens of arrests, and that's what starts to happen. Again, cashless bail. Watch what we do with that. Today, we're formally declaring a public safety emergency. This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was, with graffiti all over the walls. It's another part of it, by the way, because we're talking about safety, but we're also talking about beautification. We have the most beautiful, potentially, capital in the world. We always had. But people come from Iowa, they come from Indiana, they come and then they get mugged. Not going to happen. Keep coming, because by the time you get your trip set, it's going to be safe again, and it's going to be clean very quickly. We're going to replace the medians that are falling down all over the roads. We're going to replace the potholes. We're going to put a nice new coat of asphalt over the top. No, we don't have to rip the road out and spend 7 years building a new road because they cut everything. Because some designer said, well, we need a 1/4 of an inch more turn for safety reasons. No, we're going to do it right. We're going to get it done quickly. So today we're declaring public safety emergency in the District of Columbia, and Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's fantastic, is taking command of the Metropolitan Police Department as of this moment. And I'll be making the appropriate notifications to Congress and to the mayor, our new DEA administrator, who's one of the top in the country. He better be Terry. If you're not, I'm going to get rid of you so fast. Terry Cole. Terry, thanks. Very good. We just got him. Most highly recommended person. And you'll be designated as the interim federal commissioner of the Metropolitan Police Department. Okay? And you run them tough. They're good. You have a lot of good people. You have people that shouldn't be there. You also have people that shouldn't be there. They got in there because of woke. But you have a lot of great police. And those people are the ones that want to help you. This city will no longer be a sanctuary for illegal alien criminals. We will have full, seamless, integrated cooperation at all levels of law enforcement, and we'll deploy officers across the district with an overwhelming presence. You'll have more police, and you'll be so happy, because you'll be safe. When you walk down the street, you're going to see police, or you're going to see FBI agents. We're going to have a lot of agents on the street. You're going to have a lot of, essentially, military, and we will bring in the military if it's needed. By the way, we're going to have National Guard, but Pete Hegseth will tell you about it. We will bring in the military if needed. People say, "Oh, that's so terrible. He's going to bring in." It's been used many times over the years. I don't think we'll need it. I think we've got so many great people, including the people that are in the police department with proper leadership. They'll immediately begin massive enforcement operations targeting known gangs, drug dealers, and criminal networks to get them the hell off the street, maybe get them out of the country, because a lot of them came into our country illegally. They shouldn't have been allowed in. They come from Venezuela. They come from all over the world. We're going to get them the hell out. They won't be here long. But some of these people, a lot of them, are homegrown criminals. And these are bad people. These are rough people. And this is just a list of some of the people that were given to me today that were criminals removed from the D.C. streets this weekend. They were rough and tough. But we're rougher and tougher. Look at these people here. Nothing, you know. They're not going to be your local school teacher. Look at this guy. He has killed people numerous times.
Look at this guy. Look at his profile
an
pic.
asset. They will never be an asset
Looks
to
rough.
society. I don't care. I know we all want to say, oh, they're going to be rehabbed. It's not going to be rehabbed. I'm going to ask Doug Burgum to come up and say a couple of words because he's in charge, as you know. He's Interior, but he's in charge of the U.S. Park Police. And I've heard so many great things about the Park Police. They're proud of it. They've been there for a long time. Their families oftentimes grow into the roles. They love the country. They love this area. So, Doug, could you say a few words, please?
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the U.S. Park Police, this is the oldest federal police force in the nation. They were formed in 1791 by none other than President George Washington. They've got the awesome responsibility of protecting our nation's most sacred monuments. The National Mall, Washington Monument, Jefferson Memorial, Lincoln Memorial, Statue of Liberty, and out west, the Presidio and the Golden Gate area. These folks have tens of millions of visitors a year, the kind of people that President Trump's talking about that come from around the country and around the world to see our sacred and learn about our history and our sacred monuments. They've been doing a fantastic job, but they are so pleased, the rank and file, that President Trump is now allowing them to enforce the law. As those of you that live in the city may know, that the circle parks that are spread throughout D.C. are actually federal park property. So the U.S. Park Police also
Bradley Frizzle and the Peach Chat, Antonio.
Littered with homeless camps under the Biden administration. All of you saw that. Since President Trump's executive order on March 27th.
Talk about planting peach trees,
safe
President.
And beautiful again. The U.S. Park Police
yes, thank you,
over
Bradley
70
Frizzle.
homeless camps.
I hope you had a great weekend,
and
baby.
President Trump also talked about beautification. They're stopping enforcing laws against graffiti on our monuments. They've removed over 80 specific attacks against our history with graffiti on our monuments. So they continue to do a great job, whether it's in their vehicles, on foot, or on the mounted police that you see around the National Mall.
I know he snuck it in, but I saw it early, bro. I saw right away. I saw it.
To be enforcing the law.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm doing toe workouts right now. I'm listening. I got an eye on the wire in the chat. That's why I saw it. And then I look down at my toe and I look up, and then I'm blessed with the peach. Gosh, it's a beautiful day.
It's an honor to be here. And at your direction,
honored to be here. I'd like to make a toast to the president.
Oh, no? Operationalized by the Secretary of the Army, Dan Driscoll, through the D.C. Guard.
I'm sorry, Pete. I love you,
Pete. Them flowing into the streets of Washington in the coming week.
Pete spend a lot of money.
At your direction as well, sir, there are other units we are prepared to bring in. Other National Guard units, other specialized units. They will be strong, they will be tough, and they will stand with their law enforcement partners. This is nothing new.
City oversaw $1 billion sanction for trust tied to sanctioned Russian assets.
Down there who've been operating in defense cooperation areas.
What's up with bonds right now?
Zones where there's zero.
Yo, City might be getting clapped off that Russia headline.
Scanning the border.
I didn't think it would. That means they could either have exposure or not, but then bonds are tweaking right now.
And we're working with ICE.
Yeah, XOF. I don't know if it's all of them.
We did the same thing.
Yeah, all the banks, but then City took it harder.
With ICE officers. ICE officers deserve to do their job and not be attacked. We will work alongside all D.C. police and federal law enforcement to ensure this
AOL
city
to discontinue
is safe.
dial-up internet?
This city is
No.
beautiful.
I
And
need that.
as I always say about President Trump to the troops, he has their back. And my message to the National Guard and federal law enforcement in Washington is, we have your back as well. Be tough, be strong. We're right behind you. Thank you, Mr. President.
I'm going to ask Pam, because she's now, as you heard me say, she's really in charge of a lot of what we're talking about. She's done an incredible job. People are going to start to see the fruits of her labor. And Pam, maybe you could say a few words about what we're talking about here.
Sure, President. Let me be crystal clear. Crime in D.C. is ending and ending today. We are going to use every power we have to fight criminals here. President, thank you for caring about our capital. Families come here every summer. Our museums are free. We have the National Zoo. We have the National Gallery. DC should be a place where everyone can come and feel safe. Behind me and to my side, we have some of the best career law enforcement and prosecutors in the country who are ready to take this on. As the president said, Terry Cole is going to be supervising the Metro Police Department. Gaddy Serralta, our U.S. Marshal, is going to be supervising command and control, the entire operation. Our Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, and I will be working with them closely.
I had to explain to my girl what I was like trying to explain to her how like I was 7 years old.
I'm going to talk to you in a minute about what we did in
finessing these fucking AOL CDs just to get internet.
Many of you covered that.
And y'all heard my dad yesterday. You know, I had to learn a lot
Not
in
only
that foreign
that,
household
our secret weapon here in DC is U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro.
She didn't understand.
One of the toughest
I even had to explain it like her mom didn't even get it.
And she is going to be
That's
talking
crazy.
about juvenile crime,
bro,
how
the
it's out of
dial-up
control
days, bro.
here,
The dial-up
and what
days are
she's
real.
going to do to fight
Praise
back.
God. Praise God. You know
No
that?
more.
God is so
no
good.
more crime rampant in our beautiful capital. No more teenage girls beating a disabled man to death. No more of that.
You hear that, teenage
no more
girls?
drive-bys.
Stop
We're
beating
going
up
to
old
do
people.
Everything we can, and working with the
I didn't know they
ATF,
did that, but
ATF Director
glad that she
Driscoll
warned
and
them.
Commander of the Army. We're going to all work together. That's what we all do in this room. We work together, we fight. Do not underestimate one person in this room. We're going to make DC beautiful. We're going to make DC safe again. One other thing, just at the wharf a few days ago, the area of the wharf, Terry Cole reached out to me, not even nightfall, on the weekend, where so many families and tourists go. A guy's overdosing from fentanyl on a park bench. In the middle of families around, they administer Narcan and saved his life. No more of that. The President of the United States is going to clean up DC, and we're going to be there to help him, and we're going to be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Cash, talk about Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia, we had a big success.
Micron on the low.
Thank
They
you,
were
Mr.
up
President.
this
Thank you,
morning
General
because of the
Wong, for your
guidance.
leadership. Deputy Attorney General.
So yeah, that's already
Interagency
slipping, but it's still
partners.
around the 3.
Mr. President, the following is what happens when you let good cops be cops, and I just want to highlight that before I get into Northern Virginia. This year alone, under President Trump's administration, we've had over 4,000 child victims identified and found. That's a 33% increase from the same time period last year. 33% increase. We've had a seizure of 1,500 kilograms of fentanyl up to this date. That is a 25% increase since the same time period last year. And just to put it in perspective, 1,500 kilograms of fentanyl is enough to kill 115 million Americans. 115 million Americans. Cops are getting after it. The FBI has arrested 19,000 people this year alone. Thanks to President Trump's administrations, that's double than where we were this time last year. And we have also arrested 1,600 people who have committed violent acts against children. 270 of them are human traffickers of children. Mr. President, this is what happens when you have great leadership at the Attorney General with Pam Bondi, your administration's priority of protecting the homeland and protecting American citizens and protecting our children, and the murder rates are plummeting. We are now able to report that the murder rate
Uber on the high
is
too.
on track to be the lowest in U.S. history, in modern recorded U.S. history, thanks to this team behind me and President Trump's priorities. And how do we do it? And what are we going to bring to D.C.? What we did in Northern Virginia, thanks to Terry Cole and Governor Youngkin and the team.
See, so you know Cash, bro? He just like me, bro. He got one of these like hot girlfriend spots. You know what I'm saying?
And let's get the red tape out of their
even
way.
then, bro, I looked at it, I was like, he sounds so, he even talked like his girlfriend to spy, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? At least like you guys were like, Josh, yeah, like even my voice would change. I think I think he don't know it yet, though. I know it. I'm just aware my girl's a spy, but I don't think he knows.
Is what's coming to Washington, D.C. When you let good cops be cops, when you give them the intel they need, when you work with our Homeland Security Task Force, when you work with Terry and Gaddy and I go way back to Miami. These guys are great leaders of the respective departments and law enforcement capacities. And when you have the DOJ and President Trump driving behind this mission, We are going to clean up Washington, D.C., and we're going to do it the right way, the lawful way, and we're going to make sure Washington, D.C. is safe again. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Attorney General.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Cash. So, the process begins right now. It actually started over the weekend.
Oh, Guardian on law.
Confronted a lot of very bad people, but it's going to be something that will be pretty amazing to you as you watch it. And I think most of you say it's a beautiful thing to do it right.
You do it right.
We're going to be removing homeless encampments from all over our parks, our beautiful, beautiful parks, which now a lot of people can't walk on. They're very dirty, we got a lot of problems. But we've already started that. We're moving the encampments away, trying to take care of people. Some of those people, we don't know how they even got there. Some of those people are from different countries, different parts of the world. Nobody knows who they are. They have no idea, but they're there. We're getting rid of the people from underpasses and public spaces from all over the city. There are many places that they can go, and we're going to help them as much as you can help. But they'll not be allowed to turn our capital into a wasteland for the world to see. The Metropolitan Police Department and the federal authorities will be supported in the effort, a really big effort, the 800 DC National Guardsmen that we'll put on, and much more if necessary, much more. You remember I said, I offered 10,000 once. Remember I said to a certain person, person who I thought always was highly overrated, not very competent. But I said, if you need them, we'll give you 10,000 of the military or the National Guard. They turned me down. But if necessary, we're going to move service members directly to joining the Guardsmen. And that'll take place very rapidly, and that'll be done in conjunction with Pam and with Pete and everybody else. Washington, D.C. should be one of the safest, cleanest, and most beautiful cities anywhere in the world. And we're going to make it that. We're going to make it safe. We're going to make it smart. We're going to make it beautiful, so beautiful. Some of the buildings, we're going to add to it. You see what we've done at the White House. White House is a whole different building. I do that in my part-time because it's a natural instinct as a real estate person. I was very good at that, and I was very good at fixing things up. I like fixing things up. You see what's happening. The marble floors are being reinstalled, renovated, fixed. The whole place is becoming very beautiful. We're going to be adding a magnificent ballroom, most beautiful ballroom, I think, anywhere. We need it. I would have certainly loved to have had it today. I think we would have filled it up. A lot of you are standing outside, can't get in this room. I have never seen the room like this, which tells me that you want to talk about.
I hit the wire.
I mean, this was a
okay. Low ticker's
DC
picking up, guys. Again, every time we've been at the low, it got a little active, but
and beautification.
Yeah, you're kind of doing that again.
I'm going to put that. That's
equal weight 2 as well. Everything is about to go red. Ironically enough, Nasdaq is the only thing in the green now. So that means the last 30 minutes, bro. The Russell has given up like 0.5%.
Incredible. She was.
So yeah, be careful.
Fantastic.
But yeah, we're near the low, 63.84. I think next level, like 83 to 81.
Became a judge,
68,
judge.
Then 50, and then gap fill if you're really unlucky.
Because she was such a
UNH on the low, they were up a little bit higher.
A good judge, tough judge, but fair, always fair. Nobody ever complained about that, but she was tough.
Airbnb, a lot of things are selling off now. And a couple China names, Nettie's on the high.
She went into showbiz, so a lot of people don't, they think of Janine as showbiz. Actually,
GitHub CEO to step down.
And she did great. She was on along with a couple of other of my friends on the #1 show, and she did great. But this is what she loves doing. This is really her baby. What she's going to do is going to be incredible. And I'd like to speak for just a few seconds on what she has in mind, what she wants to do. We're going to be appointing some judges. We have some open spots, and we're going to take people because the judges are letting killers out. They just say, go, that's okay, don't worry about it. So we're putting some Pam recommended, Todd recommended, some judges that are great. Janine recommended. Janine's given me 3 great candidates already. We have about 10 open spots, so we can probably create some more. We need them. Janine, would you say a few words, please?
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you, Madam Attorney General, and to all my partners here. We all want the same thing. We all want a safe city. We want a safe capital. We want to be able to bring our families here. We want to be able to come and enjoy the history that makes this place great. And unfortunately, we are not in that position right now. And Mr. President, I want to thank you for taking the step that we need right now to make criminals understand that they are not going to get away with it anymore.
ESPN and Fox
And I'm
one
not going to
bundle
stand
for
here and go
$39.99.
over and over the cases. But what I can tell you is this. I see too much violent crime being committed by young punks who think that they can get together in gangs and crews and beat the hell out of you or anyone else. They don't care where they are. They can be in DuPont Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? Because the laws are weak. I can't touch you
The
if
laws
you're
are
14,
weak.
15,
You're weak.
16, 17 years old and you have a
get the
gun.
reference?
I convict someone of
Glenn Gary
shooting
Ross?
another
Oh, okay.
person with an illegal gun.
Yeah, Microsoft on the
a
high and
public
Intel
bus
too.
in the chest. Intent to kill? I convict him. And you know what the judge gives him? Probation. Says you should go to college. We need to go after the DC Council and their absurd laws. We need to get rid of this concept of, no cash bail. We need to recognize that the people who matter are the law-abiding citizens. And it starts today. But it's not going to end today. Because the
I've been to
president
DC.
is going to do
It is
everything
actually
we need
truly
to do
beautiful, yeah.
to make sure that
I went
these
back in the day, though.
emboldened
When I went, there
criminals
wasn't crime.
understand we
It was
see
chill.
you,
It's boring.
we're
It's boring as
watching
fuck.
you, and we're going to change
If,
the
like,
law to
dude,
catch you.
that's why they're
My
all
final
into
note
weird
is this.
sex shit and alcoholics, because
These
it's
kids
boring as hell out there.
understand that the
But
jurisdiction
other than that,
is through the
very
state
beautiful.
attorney
If you're
general,
into like
Brian
history
Schwab.
too,
I
oh,
did
DC is
poster
a
of the young
beautiful
man
place.
from Doge
I love
who
it.
was beaten bloody with a severe concussion, a broken nose. And then I did a poster of what happens to those kids, because I can't arrest them, I can't prosecute them. They go to family court and they get to do yoga and arts and crafts. Enough. It changes today. Thank you, Mr. President. You're welcome.
Great job. Thank you.
There's some good
If
food
I
there.
could, I just signed some
And good,
executive
great.
orders.
Believe
I'd
it or
like to
not,
Will,
some of the
please come
best
up and,
Ethiopian food is in DC.
we'll
If you're into
let
that,
the people know what we
I
signed.
am.
Do you want to
It's
put them
fire.
down?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
A short while
Intel,
ago in the
baby.
Oval Office, President Trump signed two crucial
Intel getting a
executive
little more
actions to deal with the
active.
emergency crime conditions we currently
Chad,
face in the District
you got
of
the jump,
Columbia.
baby.
The first of these was
Again.
an executive order, as President Trump said before,
God,
invoking
baby,
his powers
Jesus
under
Christ of
Section
Nazareth,
40 of
my
the Home
friend,
Rule Act
my
to
father,
take federal
the
control
king.
of the D.C. Metropolitan
I hope they
Police
feel me.
Department. Along with that executive order, President Trump signed the statutorily required notification letters to Mayor Bowser and to the relevant House and Senate committee leaders. The second major executive action that President Trump signed was a presidential memorandum directing the Secretary of Defense to utilize.
I don't see a headline on it. I see a Barron's report talking about NVIDIA and AMD, but that's it.
It also authorized the Secretary of Defense to work with state
Yeah, I don't see anything on
governors to
Intel
utilize
yet.
their National Guard.
There's another update
units
on the
if
visit,
necessary
according to Wall
as
Street
well.
Journal.
These are bold, decisive steps intended to combat.
Yeah, now it's up
the out-of-control
7%. That's
crime
very
conditions
it's
we've
either going to
seen on
hold the
DC
rest of the
streets
day or it's going to
for
sell
far
off
too
back to
long.
1%.
And I, for one, am
7 is
deeply
very
proud to
unusual.
be
It's
part of
leading
an
in the chip space
administration
right
that's
now.
finally coming to terms
So again,
with
he is
these
going to
issues.
the White House today, Le Bouton, and that's pretty much what we are waiting for.
So, just to conclude,
And SPY a little bit off the
Washington,
bottom
D.C.
here. Cardinal Health, that was up in the
should
morning, and then you
be
got
one of
Microsoft.
the safest,
They're
cleanest,
really
most
going.
beautiful places anywhere in the world. It was years ago. We had one problem that was a pretty big problem. The radical left got out of control, and they started trying to rip down statues. And
Well,
they
be
said, "Let's go
careful
past the
now.
law real
We had
fast."
some
We were
earlier
real
plays,
fast,
so
but we were
that's
blocked
what I
by
was
the
referencing.
Democrats who do
We
not
were
want
ahead of
safety.
it, not just reacting right
Nobody
now.
gets it. I don't
like
get it.
maybe like an
They
hour
don't
ago
get it.
or 30
Because
minutes.
They can't get votes. I don't know how they can win an election with this, but they don't want safety. And I found an old statute, very old, early 1900s, that said if you so much as touch or even think about destroying a statue or a monument in Washington, D.C., you go to jail for 10 years with no probation, no anything. In other words, slightly different than we have today. Today we have cashless bail. Today you get jailed 10 years. No curtailed sentence, 10 years. And we took it out. Nobody used it. It was never used because, it was harsh. And you remember they started to rip down the statue of Abraham Lincoln. I said, that's a tough one to rip down. He was pretty good, Pam. I think he was pretty good. When the ropes started going around Abraham Lincoln to pull him down, Andrew Jackson, others, and they were heading to the Jefferson Memorial, Thomas Jefferson. They're going to do a big number there. I said, it's time. And I signed that statute immediately. We had it
You got that little VWAP
updated.
down, see what we get with Intel.
Use the same language.
Oh,
all
you guys
passed
are
by
flying
Congress.
blind. I'm going to the potty.
And I announced it's 10 years in jail, no probation, no anything. 10 years, no curtail sentence
why
if
is
you
God
touch
so great,
much as touch a statue in Washington, D.C. And it was an amazing sight, beautiful sight. Everybody just left. The ropes were hanging around Andrew Jackson, and there were 2 ropes around Abraham Lincoln. They left the rope, but everybody just left. And that was the last problem we ever had. You know, that was the last problem that we ever had with the statues. They were going wild, and somebody came to me and said, sir, in 1910, I don't want to give you an exact, because you'll say, Donald Trump gave us wrong dates around like early on. You know, if I'm slightly off, they make you sound a little bad. So I won't put myself in that position. I won't put you in that position, because I think everybody agrees with what we're doing today. But when I signed that thing, it was like a miracle. Everybody left. They were gone. They were starting to march down. They started the march toward Thomas Jefferson. And I figured he was always going to be safe. But they found something with him, and they found something with Abraham Lincoln. And even in the name George Washington in California, numerous places changed the name of George Washington High School and various other places. They took George Washington's name. This was a sick, woke culture that I think we've largely ended. And a lot of those people that were woke are now turning out to be the opposite. I won't go so far as to say MAGA. It's a very special category. But they've gotten out of that. But we have people that love this country, and they love this really beautiful capital. It is. I flew over it the other day, and I said, what a beautiful place. But if there's crime all over the streets, when you get there, it doesn't look so beautiful. But we're going to make it beautiful again. We're going to fix it with crime, and we're going to also, as we're doing that, we're going to start doing things that we know how to do, that I know how to do better than anybody, I guess, because of my experience from previous life. But not only are we stopping the crime, we're going to clean up the trash and the graffiti and the grime and the dirt and the broken marble panels and all of the things they've done to hurt this city. And we're going to restore the city back to the gleaming capital that everybody wants it to be. It's going to be something very special. All of these people are really tough. Could I shake your hand, Gaddy, please? You're going to be so important here. You are going to be...
Can I shake your hand? Let me shake it.
I don't have to fire him in 2 weeks because he's too soft. I don't think he's too soft. If I do, I will, though. Is it okay? If you're soft, weak, and pathetic, like so many people, I will fire you so fast. You're not going to have to worry about that. No, I think you're going to do a fantastic job. And everybody in this room, they may not express it, but they all want that to happen. You know, they want to be safe, and they have families too. So it's an honor to have such a large group. I've done this for years now, hard to believe. I've never seen this room so packed. In fact, I'm sure it's a violation of every fire code. But we'll let you stay anyway.
You got him
taking
laughing.
a chance. And with that, we'll say, maybe if you could, oh, wow. We could be here all day long. If we could keep the first questions, perhaps, to
Q&A. Imagine the
the
president gives a whole speech, and then you could ask him questions.
Can you talk about how
It's
personal
new
of an
feature.
issue this is? We talked about flying over the Washington Monument and seeing the pride of what DC is. And do you believe that the status of the city, the cleanliness, the way that crime is low, is a direct reflection on how the country is run?
Yeah, I do. I think the Capitol, look, everyone comes here. They're all coming. All the leaders, they're all wanting to come. And I say it, I've said it again, but I'm really just quoting other leaders from NATO, from the Middle East, King of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE. I was over there. We brought back $5.1 trillion of investment into our country. But a month and a half ago, I was at NATO. We had a great thing. They agreed to put up 5% instead of 2%. 2% they didn't pay, 5% is already paid. We had a great meeting, and they all said the same thing. They said our country was dead. They thought our country was gone. 1 year ago, they said your country was dead. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. We do. We have the hottest country in the world right now.
We're the hottest in the world right
the
now.
Tariffs
Just
have helped.
touched down
It's given
in
us
London.
not only the money, it's billions, trillions of dollars of money.
No, I'm not going to do it this time.
Great power over
I'll get too crazy.
enemies. We solved 5 wars with Pakistan and India. We just solved one. Azerbaijan and, as you know, and Armenia.
Okay, Intel just came right back down. That literally 2.5% for no reason. And then bonds are starting to hit another low. SPY hit VWAP coming down a little bit. I don't see anything on oil, but
it was a very
yeah, it's starting to move off the bottom.
Got it done. And I said,
you just started mentioning some war stuff.
I said, are you guys friends? And they had a hard time. You know, they've been killing each other for 37 years, right? One was there 5 years, one was there for 22 years. He said, my whole life I've been fighting this war, and you got it solved. But we did many of those. We did in the Congo and Rwanda. That's been going on for 30 years. 8 to 9 million people killed that they know of, but it was raging, and we got that solved. We got a lot of them done. It's a great honor. But you want to have...
Yeah, Euro closing 7 minutes. We really didn't do much. So last week we had a lot, by usually 10 in the next like 30 minutes, hour. We had a lot more like motion, but we're still really near the opening.
Everything should be perfect.
Hershey's down 5.
Medians falling down into the roadway. Wow. Median, you know, the metal things that are always. Somebody had a great lobbyist, because I've never seen them look good. I've been looking at those things with the little, right? They're always broken and bad, but here they're really bad. And we're going to either put new or fix it, and it's not expensive. It's not really expensive. And we're going to fix it.
Macron, Starmer, and Merz will hold virtual meeting on Ukraine coalition ahead of Trump
every Saturday, the people go out and they wash their sidewalks in front of their stores or their houses. They scrub.
Oh yeah, I forgot what it was. And then the only thing, there's like some weather stuff that might develop in the next week or two.
Yet, I don't think.
So that could start affecting commodities and even oil.
Maybe we will. They go out and they scrub. I think it's so beautiful to hear that and to see those stories. But we're going to make it clean. But just to finish with your question, it's a very strong reflection of our country. And when they see a bad city, you know, my father always used to tell me, I had a wonderful father, very smart, and he used to say, son, when you walk into a restaurant and you see a dirty front door, don't go in, because if the front door is dirty, the kitchen's dirty also. Same thing with the Capitol. If our Capitol's dirty, our whole country is dirty. And they don't respect us. So it's a very good question, actually.
Mr. President, sorry. Question for you on the specific issue. Do you expect more cities to follow DC's path if this goes through? So the idea is that Chicago, LA, San Francisco, would they expect similar action what we've seen in DC? And the other question, sir, there's reporting that the administration is going to reclassify marijuana. Would that send mixed messages that if marijuana is okay, some drugs are okay?
MSOS, that's what we were talking about.
Crime. How do they go hand in hand?
We're only looking at that. That's early, but you know, somebody reported it, which is fine. We're looking at it. Some people like it, some people hate it.
Yeah, that's true.
Some people hate the whole concept of marijuana because if it does bad for the children, it does bad for people that are older than children. But we're looking at reclassification, and we'll make a determination over the next, I would say, over the next few weeks.
That's crazy.
That determination
so yeah,
hopefully will be the right one.
He was just saying how it wasn't even reported. He said he admitted it. I made a play. I grabbed a cheapie.
Medical, and I've had bad things having to do with just about everything else. But medical and you know, for pain and various things, I've heard some pretty good things. But for other things, I've heard some pretty bad things. The other part of your question, I mean, we're just going to see what happens with it all. You're going to have.
That's crazy.
We're going to have a tremendous success in what we're doing.
Yeah, those already hit.
Are hopefully watching this. They're all watching, just like everyone's watching here. They're all watching, and maybe they'll clean up, and maybe they'll self-do this and get rid of the cashless bail thing and all of the things that caused the problem. I mean, if you go
That's
back,
crazy,
this whole thing
bro.
with cashless bail is a disaster.
Bro, I can't
So
believe
many
it. Yeah, so he said in the next few
we
weeks.
never had
And he was
before.
talking about how the report,
So they're
somebody
watching
kind
us
of
today.
reported it ahead.
And if they don't learn their lesson, if they haven't studied us properly, because we're going to be very successful. I have zero doubt about that. It's going to be. It's a question of will it be really fast?
Okay, I made
like the
mine
water?
free. I got
And
100%
everyone said- they
already.
used to
I played
say,
the short
Biden
term.
used to say, "I need
So yeah, I got a bunch for free.
legislation, you didn't
I have
need- I
over
didn't get any
50 of them for free.
legislation."
That was a cheapie, and then it was already hyped, but the premium already decayed. So then right by the time he confirmed it, they were all for pennies, bro. I love it. 'Cause remember, we were ahead of it. We were talking about it this morning. I just didn't decide to do it. So that actually helped because we got the action right when he said it. Yeah, they're all holding well over 100%. If you were just listening, and then we already were prepared from this morning, so.
Chicago,
Nice.
which
I got
is a
a bunch of
disaster.
free
We
ones.
have a
They
mayor
might
who's
expire
totally
by the end of the week, but
He's
he
an
said in the next
incompetent
few
mayor.
weeks we'll get some updates.
And
So, yeah, everybody.
We
It
have
was
an
a rumor for
incompetent
now, and he
governor.
kind of just
Pritzker's
confirmed it.
incompetent. His family threw him
So
out
we'll
of
see. Crazy,
the
bro.
business, and he ran for governor.
That's crazy.
And now
So
I
yeah,
understand
the
he
weed,
wants to
because
be
again, every time the weed gets brought up,
noticed he lost
that's
a
what I was
little weight,
saying.
so
Like
maybe
weed
he has a
usually
chance.
fades,
You
like it's
never know
usually
what
nonsense, but.
But Pritzker's a gross
No, I think that's on the docket.
Thrown out of the family business.
Or down the road it will be. But be careful.
but
All
when I
that
look
whole
at
change, short term, the shortest
Chicago,
contract is
when I
still
look at,
200% on the
LA,
bid.
if we
So
didn't
be
go to
careful.
LA
You're late already.
3 months ago,
You were late
LA
this
would be
morning.
burning like
The
the fuck it
confirmation
didn't burn.
decayed because I had bought a
You would've
premium,
allowed
but
the
now it's
water
even
to
more.
come down, which I told them about in my first term. I said, you're going to have problems. Let it come down. We actually sent in our military to have the water come down into LA. They still didn't want it to come down after the fires. But that was it. We have it coming down. But hopefully LA is watching. That mayor also. The city's burning. They lost like 25,000 homes. I went there the day after the fire. You were there. And I saw people standing in front of a burned down home. It was, their homes were incinerated. They weren't like, even the steel was literally, it was all warped and literally disintegrated because of the winds and the flame and the whole thing. It was like a blowtorch. They were standing on this beautiful day, maybe a couple of days after. We gave it a little time because what they had suffered. Almost 25,000 homes. And you see what's happening now. They didn't give their permits. I went to a town hall meeting. I said, we're going to get you the federal permits, which are much harder. Almost immediately. Lee Zeldin is a star. He did an incredible job. They have all their federal permits. They don't have their city permits. And the mayor said to me, we think we could have them in 2 years. I was walking down the street and I met with firemen and police. And I was saying hello to many people that were standing in front of their homes with yellow tape. You can't go in. You can't go onto the lot. And those people wanted to start rebuilding their homes then and there. And the mayor said, we should be able to get them the permits within 2 years. I said, that's a shame. 2 years? Are you kidding? I'm going to get them the federal permit like almost immediately. 2 years. And she drew it back. Well, maybe 1 year. The place was booing her out of the place. They don't have their permits to build their homes. And now they're talking about putting, this is among the most beautiful areas was in the country. Now they're talking about putting low-income housing there. Can you believe this? I love low-income housing. I made money with low-income housing. I built low-income housing. I know more about low-income housing and luxury housing. I know about everything real estate. They want to replace some of those homes with low-income housing. They haven't gotten their permits yet. We've gotten all the federal permits, which are much tougher to get, and it was done almost immediately through Lee Zeldin and Federal Environmental. And I watched the other day, those people are angry. And now, you know, they had tremendous, they loved that area. They loved the whole big area, different places, but they loved it. It was all luxury stuff and beautiful stuff, and some wasn't that luxury, but the level of love for that neighborhood, their neighborhoods, was incredible. And you know what? I watch people on television, they want to go, they want to leave. They've lost their spirit, they've lost their heart, because the mayor's incompetent, and Gavin Newsom is incompetent. He's got a good line of bullshit, but that's about it. He's incompetent. And you have Los Angeles is, you know, it's amazing. You know, I called the first thing I did,
live bullshit, live bullshit. He said it.
I was the one that got it. And by a rare thing that happened, I'll be the president. I was very upset because I got the Olympics there and I said I won't be president when it comes, but bad things happened and illegal things happened, really illegal things happened. Now it turns out one good thing was I'm going to be the president for the Olympics for 2050, for 250, which is going to be fantastic, and also for the World Cup. So we have a lot of good things, and I hope 250 is going to be, the 250th anniversary is going to be the best. But when I looked at those people, and I saw last night on television that they still don't have their permits, it's a disgrace what's happened in Los Angeles.
Thank you. The China tariff deadline is tonight, but do you plan to extend that?
We'll see what happens.
Oh, there you
China's
go.
We've been dealing very nicely with China, as you probably have heard. They have tremendous tariffs that they're paying to the United States of America, and we'll see what happens. They've been dealing quite nicely. The relationship is very good with President Xi and myself.
President, you mentioned your upcoming meeting with President Putin. Can you tell us what you hope to get out of that and whether you'll consider inviting President Zelensky to join?
So you have to understand, this is a war that should have never happened. This is a war that wouldn't have happened if I were president. It would have never happened. It was the apple of his eye. I got along very well with President Putin. But if you look, under President Bush, they took a lot of territory. Under President Obama, they took a lot of territory. Under Biden, they essentially took the whole thing. You know, it's just a question of time. Under Trump, you know what they took? Nothing. I was the one that said, you can't build your pipeline. That was half built. I came in, I stopped the pipeline. It's called Nord Stream 2. Nobody knows that, you know? Nobody ever heard of Nord Stream 2. You might have not even heard it. Biggest pipeline in the world. I stopped it. I was not a friend of Russia, but I got along well with Putin.
Explosion at U.S. Steel Coke Works in Pennsylvania.
That doesn't mean you roll over.
Oh, wait, didn't it? It already got bought out, huh? I forgot. There's no more U.S. Steel.
Then they say Trump wasn't tough on Russia.
Yeah.
I was the toughest. Putin said, if you're not tough,
we might do press conferences at the farm, yeah.
The biggest
I'll make a press briefing room.
Job, the biggest job that Russia had ever built, I stopped it. It was dead. And this low IQ president
MO still going.
And he let them build the pipeline and supply oil and gas all over Europe, you know? So this is really a feel-out meeting a little bit. And
if it doesn't go well, oil's going down 20 a barrel.
He wants to get involved.
I'll feel him out. We'll see. But this time, oil's going down. They're bringing it down.
Because I'd have like a great call with him, and then missiles would be lobbed into Kiev.
Shit, dude! They're saying it's a mass casualty event.
People laying on a road dying.
Yeah, dude, that thing's crazy. Fat explosion in Pennsylvania at the U.S. Steel factory. They're saying multiple people died.
7,000 people a week are dying. And you know, there's nobody from here. They're all Russian and Ukrainian people, and some people from the cities, much smaller number, but still, those missiles do damage and they kill a lot of people. But mostly soldiers, and they're young soldiers. Although in the case of Ukraine, they're getting much older. They're drafting 60-year-olds now. It's a terrible thing to witness, and I think I have an obligation. Look, this is Joe Biden's war. This is not my war. I made a deal with NATO a month ago. You covered it very accurately, actually. We don't pay anything anymore. You know, we're not paying anything. They are buying things from us, and NATO is paying us. I got it raised from 2% of GDP to 5%. And they're paying us for everything that we send. We're not paying. But Biden approved $350 billion. Europe has spent $100 billion. The money that's been spent and the death is incredible. It's the worst thing that's happened, by far the worst that's happened since World War II. So I'm going in to speak to Vladimir Putin. And I'm going to be telling him, you got to end this war. You got to end it. And he wasn't going to mess with me. This war would have never happened. You know, we had a discussion about it one time, and we never had that discussion again. Would have never happened. And when the election was rigged, and then Biden took office, which was barely took office. The auto pen took office. Bad things started happening. Bad things, stupid things were said. And it ended up in a war. And you know, and I don't believe this will happen anymore because I have that pretty well covered. This could end up in a third world war. This could have been a third world war. I don't think that's going to happen now. But I thought it was very respectful that the president of Russia is coming to our country as opposed to us going to his country or even a third-party place. But I think we'll have constructive conversations. Then after that meeting, immediately, maybe as I'm flying out, maybe as I'm leaving the room, I'll be calling the European leaders who I get along with very well. And, you know, I have a great relationship, I think, with all of them. And I get along with Zelensky, but, you know, I disagree with what he's done. Very, very severely disagree. This is a war that should have never happened, wouldn't have happened. But I'll be speaking to Zelensky. The next meeting will be with Zelensky and Putin, or Zelensky and Putin and me. I'll be there if they need, but I want to have a meeting set up between the two leaders. I was a little bothered by the fact that Zelensky was saying, well, I have to get constitutional approval. I mean, he's got approval to go into war and kill everybody, but he needs approval to do a land swap, because there'll be some land swapping.
That's funny.
On. I know that through Russia and through conversations with everybody, to the good, for the good of Ukraine. Good stuff, not bad stuff. Also, some bad stuff for both. So there's good and there's bad. But it's very complex because you have lines that are very uneven, and there'll be some swapping, there'll be some changes in land, and the word that they will use is, you know, they make changes. We're going to change the lines, the battle lines. Russia's occupied a big portion of Ukraine. They've occupied some very prime territory. We're going to try and get some of that territory back for Ukraine. But they've taken some very prime territory. They've taken largely ocean, you know, in real estate we call it oceanfront property. That's always the most valuable property.
Yes.
If you're in a lake, a river, or an ocean, it's always the best property. Well,
wow, we have that
Ukraine,
at the
a lot of people
ranch.
don't know
Look at that.
Ukraine was largely
Look at that.
1,000 miles of ocean. That's gone. Other than one small area, Odessa. It's a small area. There's just a little bit of water left. So I'm going to go and see the parameters. Now, I may leave and say, good luck, and that'll be the end. I may say this is not going to be settled. I mean, there are those that believe that Putin wanted all of Ukraine.
Okay, a couple of tech names, IBM, MU,
I think
and a few others, and then you guys are noticing MP doing its thing. Tesla's still going up. SPY coming down a little bit.
Meet with him. We're gonna
again,
see
watch
what
oil on some of these comments, but again, some of those chip names are starting to fade. That gave you some boost there to start off. Like even Intel gave up all that. Still up 4%, and they're still up a decent amount,
I'm
but
not going to make a deal.
they're getting other moves elsewhere.
I think a deal should be made for both. I think Russia has to get back into building their country. It's a massive country. I think they have 11 time zones, if you can believe it. It's a massive, it's by far, from the standpoint of land, it's by far the largest. They have tremendous potential in Russia to do well. They're not doing well. Their economy is not doing well right now because it's been very well disturbed by this. It doesn't help when the President of the United States tells their largest or second largest oil buyer that we're putting a 50% tariff on you if you buy oil from Russia. That was a big blow. And then they say, gee, he wasn't so tough. Nobody else would have done that. And I haven't stopped there. I mean, look.
This is why I'm telling you guys, watch. Oil is going to be the weapon.
Bigger than that. But I got a call that they'd like
That's why it's like you could tell with what he said last week and then this meeting. This is like Trump getting kind of sick of Putin and like raising the stakes. So that's why we're going to see what happens on Friday. But I'll just tell you this: if there's no peace deal on Friday, oil's coming down.
Relationship with him, considering the fact that you know, I was not nice to him because of the pipeline. I ended the pipeline. I also gave the javelins. Do you ever hear of a javelin? Javelin is called a tank buster.
Javelina.
They say
that's me.
Obama gave the seats and I gave them
they named the javelin after me. I gave him the javelin, Donald. Fuck you.
Got stuck in the mud.
Yeah, fuck you, Donald. I'm sick of this.
You know, they would have been
okay, Joe, okay.
4 hours going down the highway. But a Russian general made a brilliant decision to go through the farmland instead. And they just had torrential rains, and the rains were so bad, and it was mud, and those tanks got
Tesla's
stuck
still
in the
going.
mud. I don't know who that general is, but knowing Vladimir, he's probably not around any longer because all those tanks were stuck in the mud, and they went along with the javelins. I gave them the javelins. You know that, right? I gave them javelins. They gave them sheets. But I'm going to I'm going to meet with President Putin, and we're going to see what he has in mind. And if it's a fair deal, I'll reveal it to the European Union leaders and to the NATO leaders, and also to President Zelensky. I think out of respect, I'll call him first, and then I'll call them after. And I may say, lots of luck, keep fighting, or I may say we can make a deal. I will tell you this, I've seen a poll
And
coming out of
then
Ukraine.
what's going to happen to oil? That's the real thing you should be asking,
88%
Chad.
of the people would like to see a deal made. And if you go back 3 years, everybody was gung-ho for war. You know, everybody's gung-ho for war until you have it. It's an amazing
Yeah,
thing.
MP's still
I had
dropping.
it with a couple of countries where
That is on the
couldn't get a
low.
deal done with one particular country. And I just couldn't. A guy
Baba
spread
dropping
his
too
friend of
now.
mine, great. Good
Bank of
leader,
America
tough
on the
as
high
hell.
again. Banks were
I
selling
couldn't
off
get the deal
earlier,
done.
but
and then
that's
he
not
went
bad.
into war for a short period of time. You know where I'm talking about. First term. And it was nasty. Guys being killed all over the place. And he went through 1 week of war, and I was able to get the deal done. He said, "This is nasty." Yes, please.
Yeah, just to follow up on what you were saying. First of all, Volodymyr Zelensky is not invited on Friday?
He wasn't a part of it. I would say he could go, but he's gone to a lot of meetings. You know, he's been there for 3.5 years. Nothing happened.
And what is the definition?
I mean, do you want somebody that's been doing this for 3.5 years? What's the definition of a good deal? I'll tell you after I hear what the deal is. Because there could be many definitions. You know, you're talking about a very large and complex situation. Now, I tell you, the war that I just settled with Azerbaijan and with, as you know, in Armenia.
How do you say Azerbaijan? How do you say
almost
it?
as complex
We'll
as
call him
this,
Azzy B.
having to do with
Azzy B.
routes,
We
trade.
figured it out.
Well, we're going to have a meeting
lot
with
of
Vladimir
syllables.
Putin, and at the end of that meeting, probably in the first 2 minutes, I'll know exactly whether or not a deal can be made.
How will you know that?
Because that's what I do. I make deals.
Yeah,
please, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. I'm going to ask you 2 questions, one about China, one about Russia, if I could. On China, your administration agreed to send the most advanced or advanced NVIDIA and AMD chips.
No, obsolete. No.
Obsolete chip. Well, and then 15% of the
You mean
profits
the
come back.
20s? No. This is an old chip that China already has. And I deal with Jensen. who
Bro,
is
if you
a
didn't
great
watch
guy,
the watch list
and
yesterday,
NVIDIA.
you might not be
The chip
aware
that
of
we're
China
talking
AI.
about, the
I'd watch
H20,
it if I were you.
It's an old chip. China already has it in a
You already got
different
NVIDIA
form,
up in the
different
back.
name,
Bottom right.
But they have it. Or they have a combination of two.
E-Hang, that's
They
a
got
China name
four
running.
and
Not
then
all of
some.
them are up. Most China names are down right now.
Jensen's a very brilliant guy. And Jensen also has a new chip, the Blackwell. Do you know what the Blackwell is? The Blackwell is super duper advanced. I wouldn't make a deal with that, although it's possible I'd make a deal, a somewhat enhanced in a negative way Blackwell. In other words, take 30% to 50% off of it.
Whoa,
But that's the latest and the greatest in the world.
Look at the
Nobody
video, what
has
he
it.
just
They won't
said.
have it for 5 years.
I
But
think
the
he's saying
H20
you
is
charge
obsolete.
China
You know,
more,
it's
you
one of those
charge
things, but it still
NVIDIA
has a
more.
market.
Most
So I
likely
said,
China.
Listen, I want 20% if I'm going to prove this for you, for the country, for our country, for the U.S. I don't want it myself. You know, every time I say like 747, I want, yeah, for the Air Force. So I just wanted. So when I say I want 20, I want for the country. I only care about the country. I don't care about myself. And he said, would you make it 15? So we negotiate a little deal. So he's selling a essentially old chip that Huawei has a similar chip, a chip that does the same thing. And I said, good, if I'm going to give it to you, because they have a, they have a stopper, what we call a stopper, not allowed to do it. It's really known as a restrictive covenant. And I said, if I'm going to do that, I want you to pay us as a country something, because I'm giving you a release. I released them only from the H20. Now, on the Blackwell, I think he's coming to see me again about that. But that will be a
NVIDIA going to the White House too now?
Version of the big one.
We're going to do this again?
I don't know if you know it. We will sometimes sell fighter jets to a country, and we'll give them 20% less than we have. You know what I mean, right? That's the same.
So on Russia,
I'm gonna try to flip that one because everybody has the Apple deal in mind now, and now he's hinting at Nvidia coming
should the
again.
meeting go well, should there be peace?
I do, yeah. Russia has a very valuable piece of land. If Vladimir Putin would go toward business instead of toward war, you know, it's a warring nation. That's what they do. They fight a lot of wars. A friend of mine said Russia's...
Those ones aren't working as well yet.
They beat Hitler, so did
yeah,
we.
I'm gonna try to front run those
And,
though.
they beat Napoleon. You know, they've
Again,
been
there's
doing
some
this
cheap
for a
ones.
long time.
I'm doing the same thing I
asked
did
a
with the weed
question
place.
to a
It's not as
very,
big.
very smart
The weed
man
ones, they
that
were
some
1
people
penny.
like and some people
Or 2.
don't like. Viktor Orban, right? From Hungary.
Hungary.
Right, of Hungary. And he's in that same area and knows the two countries very well. I said, this was before Biden didn't do anything to get us out of it. He could have gotten us out of that. It would have never happened. I said, so can Russia be beaten by Ukraine? He looked at me like, what a stupid question. He said, Russia's a massive country, and they win their country, and they win their life through wars. They fight wars. That's what they do. He said, China beats you with trade. Russia beats you with war. That was a very interesting statement. China's not beating us with trade. Not when I'm in charge. But they were beating Biden with trade, but they never beat us with trade. Don't forget, China had to pay $400 billion worth of tariffs.
Think
when
about
I was last
Biden.
time. That was last time.
And Biden in charge, and
we
this
didn't
whole
have
time
COVID,
you think China
all
did
of this
bad?
Stuff we would be loaded.
They
We-
probably
we're
have
finding
just as much AI as
hundreds
us.
of billions of dollars
If not
of
more.
cash is pouring into our country now.
I think that's a
because
different,
of
that's a spectrum
tariffs. And all we're
shift right
doing
there.
Is we're doing what they do to us. It's so
Yeah,
beautiful
Trump
to
confirms
see
the
it.
payment.
They
He was
find-
hinting at
they found
Jensen coming on.
last
That's why I
month
made the
you
flip,
saw
but those premiums
$25
didn't move.
million
The other ones hit like right
of
away. That one
excess
didn't.
cash flow. They say, where did it come from? I said, I'll tell you where it came from. It came from a place called tariffs, and we're doing very well. We're really doing well. But I expect to have a meeting with Putin that I think it'll be good, but it might be bad. And I'm here for one reason, to get rid of a war that somebody else started. Should have never happened. And if I could end it, great. Complex war, a lot of bad blood, But Zelensky's been there for 3.5 years. So if you put him in a room, now I will say this, ultimately I'm gonna put the two of them in a room. I'll be there or I won't be there. And I think it'll get solved. Yeah, please be happy.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Excuse me, I'm going to suggest, because do you have any other questions on DC? Because I don't want them to be. Wait.
Yeah, he's mad that we keep trading on it.
These are incredible people. I don't want them to be standing up here.
No, he's mad. He's like,
Subjects
can you
of-
just ask
does
me about
anybody
the
have a
wall?
question of them, and then you guys can leave.
Imagine Joe Biden in the middle of questions trying to organize his questions. Imagine that. You've never. Y'all don't understand it, bro.
And then they're gonna
He's
leave
in the
because
middle.
it's
He has
unfair
that
to
much
have them
awareness
stand up
right
here
now.
all day long.
And I know y'all talk a lot of shit about Trump, but have you ever said, yeah, hold on. These people, let's organize it a little in real time. I would love to answer more questions. Let's organize it with processes and systems.
Let's talk about
Yeah, I'm the president. Where's Hunter?
And judges, because
I need a pick-me-up.
Recycling belt, like these kids go, they don't fear the
Yeah,
police.
Hunter knows how to
They know.
cook.
If you talk about how
He'll show you. Make a YouTube channel, tutorial. I told him to be successful, ban Josh, and then give Hunter. We'll make Hunter fucking, show you how. Step 1.
Okay, it's real. Do you want me to answer it?
Go ahead. You want it. Take that. All you,
Here's the
baby girl.
problem.
All you.
Assuming that
Tell
they're
him.
17 years.
She looks
or
like a
older
little
than 17
Labubu.
years old, I can get the case. If they're
She looks
under
like a
18
Labubu
years
doll.
of age,
A
I can
Labubu
only get the
policy.
case if it's murder, rob one,
Get 'em.
rape,
She'll put you in jail.
even
Watch
if
out.
they shoot a gun but don't kill you, I can't get it.
Oh, she'll
so
kill
the
you.
law has
She'll
to
do
be
it.
changed. As the president said, cashless bail. That has to be changed. All right, then even assuming I get the case, I get jurisdiction, I get a conviction.
I know.
the
Did
DC
Josh just
Council
call her
has
a
given
Labubu
the
doll?
judges the ability
Wow.
to give probation
Wow.
on shootings. And so then it's up to them. all of these things, the Youth Rehabilitation Incarceration Reduction Act, and now they want to seal records. So if we work hard, we get a conviction, they want to wipe it out. So that needs all to be changed.
Okay, Mr. Question. Pam, would you answer that also?
Yeah, and just back to that topic, let's be clear though, we're going to charge them and we're going to track every single thing they do throughout every step of the court process and report back to you and let all of you know what's happening to them, because the people who are prosecuting them, the judges who are trying them, they also need to be held accountable.
Mr. President, you also made the comment. You made the comment in your office. This is the most people we've ever seen in this briefing.
I've never seen
ever, right?
Yeah. I've never seen any. Where's Caroline? Where's
Caroline?
Caroline, is Caroline in the back? Where's Caroline? Come here, Caroline. Come here, Caroline.
Yeah, clap.
Is she doing a good job, by the way? Come here. Is this the largest crowd that you've ever seen?
This is definitely the most packed briefing, and I think all of you would agree. I think it's why we need to build a ballroom.
Mr. President, I have a better idea.
I mean, I'm down with the ballroom if Trump is paying for it. You know what I'm saying?
You're building
No,
a
for
big,
real.
beautiful ballroom. Yeah. Could we build a big, beautiful briefing room?
This is like you guys trying to get me to build a bunch of crazy shit on the farm and we just got it. I'm like, hold up, you guys, this costs money and I'm not Donald Trump. That's the difference. That is a big difference, actually.
No, I don't want to make
this guy. He has the money. I don't got $1 billion yet.
So look,
God willing, I'm trying to go for $1 trillion now too. My whole mindset changed, but praise the Lord.
Thing. We're going
Still.
to Russia. That's going to be a big deal.
Okay, you're ripping now too.
What
high,
happens,
a little bit
so
back
let
to
you know
open,
what
getting near
happens.
the
You'll be
first high.
to know.
Dude, those MOs are
I'll
ripping.
be
We should have
calling
held
the
them.
European leaders. I'm going with.
Oh wait, I got one
totally,
more.
I mean, we have a lot of talks. They're great people.
Okay.
They're great leaders actually, and they want to get back. Honestly, as one of them said, I've OD'd on trying to settle Ukraine. They've OD'd, meaning they've overdosed on the settlement of Ukraine.
They OD'd. He just said OD.
Is it accurate?
Do you know what that
They
means?
wanna
They're
get back
OD.
to spending
Total
money on
OD.
their
I'm
countries.
telling you.
They're in. Biden gave them $300.
Okay, the MO is like right below 1,000% right now.
Europe gave $100 billion.
Another
It should
one.
be much
Another
more than
one,
that.
Joe. Another
Shouldn't
one.
have been that kind of. They should have had equalization, but they didn't. But you know what? Still a lot of money.
The
They wanna
NVIDIA
get
one,
back
that's
to
the only one that
building
didn't
their own
work.
countries.
Still the
They
same
really
price
wanna
though, break
resolve.
even.
My
None of those moved at
relationship
the
with
high.
the European
And SPY
leaders,
again,
as
a
you
little bit back
saw,
up here.
is extremely good. It's perfect. It's beautiful. Wait. And we're going to try. I'll be in touch with them. I have 5 of them call me. You think it's easy? There are a lot of European leaders, but they rely on me. Very much rely on me. If it wasn't for me, this thing would never get solved until the last person breathing is dead.
Mr. President.
Yeah, I did. I'm talking to them right
Mr.
now.
President.
So I'm talking to the European leaders. I'll be talking to President Zelensky. I'm going to get everybody's ideas. I go into that thing fully loaded right up there, and we're going to see what happens. Now, I think one of 2 things is going to happen. It's going to be a good meeting, and we'll go a step further. We'll get it done. I'd like to see a ceasefire very, very quickly. Very quickly.
Oh,
I'd like
Sweet
to see
Green's
it
on the low,
immediately, but
Google
I'd
on the
like to see
high,
it
and
very
SPY's still
quickly.
going.
And we're going to be dealing with the European leaders, and we're going to be dealing with President Zelensky, and hopefully we're going to have a great success. As far as this, what we did today, and I think you were here for D.C. more so than even Russia, because Russia will be, we have a couple of days to go, but the Russia is going to be very interesting. But to me, what is very exciting, and we're going to take
Celsius
back our
on the
capital.
high, 52-week high.
We're going to make it beautiful again, but we're going to make it, more importantly, safe again. It's going to be so
Bro,
safe.
this one's been
It's
going
gonna
on
be
for a
model.
long time, bro. It's almost
And
9
then we'll
o'clock.
look at other cities
He's been
also, but
up
other
here
cities
ripping
are
it.
studying what we're doing, and
Apple
you know,
on the
some
high.
capable people in other cities, they can do it too. But we have a great group of professionals. We're going to have a safe, beautiful capital, and it's going to happen very quickly. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you. That's it. Just right when I said he's ripping it. That was a long time, bro. I think it was like an hour. Yeah, that was over an hour live, bro. He did like an hour and what? Hour 15
See you
minutes.
guys tomorrow. We'll have
Of
another
pure
one.
Trump.
See the National Guard on their streets.
All of them.
National Guard. Yeah. Dang, son. All right, well, D.C. is now probably not where you want to commit crimes, you guys. And then we confirmed the weed rumor. We got to hear that. Then Trump was hinting at Jensen showing up. And then again, he was announcing all of that. You did hear about, again, Russia and China. These were the main topics that I told you guys on the watch list that we were going to be looking out for this week. So you got a lot of that, and that's what we're going to be looking at moving forward. So I think it's all good. We didn't get much details. He just said either deal or not with Russia. And again, if you guys are prepared, you know how to watch oil related to that. Other than that, we're China too. He just said, we'll see. We'll see if we get a deal or not. So in the next couple of days with China, remember, August 12th, that's, if you don't understand, August 12th, August 13th, you remember those 150% tariffs, the embargo, they come back into place. So if we don't have an agreement with China by Tuesday or Wednesday for all of this, then yeah, you're back to having really, really large tariffs. So welcome, my friends. But yeah, other than that, we're about to hit the top of the hour. I hope you did push-ups during that. I was doing a little bit. So I was moving around and all that. I hope you did the same. And then in the hour or so, we'll probably have philo. But other than that, SPY has not done much. There's a little bit of activity. Surprisingly, the Dow is down. Let me get you guys another checkup. What are we doing? Down 10 green, 20 red. That's been the same for the last like hour, or at least before we got into Trump. And then NASDAQ 37 in the red, and then 63 in the green. So yeah, you have way more names down on the NASDAQ, but NASDAQ surprisingly green. So I think you're getting more of a Mag 7 leadership. And then SPY only 201, 80 names went red from Trump. So we're going up right now, but I'm pretty sure this is Mag 7, you guys. Unfortunately, you're not getting the same broadening out as the morning. Equal weights actually red on the day and SPY's green. So yeah, but then Russell's doing good too. But I do think small caps and then like another pocket of the market, that's kind of holding things up here a little bit. So yeah, but not too bad. And welcome to Monday. Arm circle. I was doing some toe workouts, man. I was doing my foot, the towel, all of that, man. So there was a lot. Dell news. What do we got? Dell. Michael Dell. AI advancements. It just seems like a pump. Something with NVIDIA Elastic, but it sounds like a PR. I want to call it breaking. Fade. Rip on optimism with NVIDIA. Yeah, it'll help, but I think you just, fact of the matter is this August 12th, August 13th, if there's no deal in place, then yeah, tariffs are going to skyrocket from China. It's like fluff news, not real, like a real headline. Midwest, that means he has a closing. What up, baby? Or nah? Oh, real estate. Finger to the sky, baby. Let's go, Michigan. Midwest, another club. Bro, he just closes. He gives me a donation for closing. That's what I love you, baby. My man, let's go. We got to get you a crib too now. Everybody, I hope you guys didn't forget. And a lot of you have, though. So, again, if you guys were here the last week, man, a lot of you guys did pick up on your first homes. Love to see it. A lot of you are even assisting others with it. So, again, man, just the diversification, the long-term plan, the stocks, the real estate, all of it. I hope you're thinking about it. Don't forget, I don't know if I've given you a save 10% and turn it to a house rant this morning or this week, but you're definitely going to get one. Next year, a house, any year, whether it happens in a month, a year. I've had this talk, and it's just like, all that matters is a deal. You should be ready for it, hunting every day. The deal may show up tomorrow. It may show up in 2 years, but no finish line, no timeline. We're not married to that, but we are definitely committed to the goal and looking every day. And if you do that, I think you'll do amazing. Oh, ask about it. You already know, baby. And congratulations. You're already helping people do it every day. I love it. Good morning. Happy Monday. I told you I love Mondays. I was really hyped last Monday. So that's it. I did a lot of work this Monday. I'm not as sore, but yeah, it's good. BHC, I've been seeing that one up all day. And again, SPY's near even the high of the day. Remember, we were doing the little 6,400 dance, I believe. Yeah, 63.96. So not bad if we could get above it, and then 63.07 or 64, and then 64.15, and then before you know it, you're testing the other one. You got me a house next year? Oh, what? Oh, what? Are you going to be the first one? Well, I got the compound for the coast, so, you know, that took us 5 years. But I know one day someone going to buy me a house. And then Michigan, too, bro. I still want to do it. Everyone's a hater, though. You know, LT's a hater on there. But I need to pull up one day and see. And then somebody did. Someone sent me a $80,000 house in Jersey. That was a good, and it was a deal. I emailed back to that one. Deco, the one in Jersey, that one is a deal. It's $80,000. It's comps at like 180 conservatively, 250 if you're lucky. But that one, as long as it doesn't need 80,000, 90,000 in repairs, that one was a deal. So yeah, I don't know, not in Newark. Where was it? I don't know this place, but it's like near the cheap end, near Philly. But no, it's fire. Hot area. It's in Jersey. It's perfect. I responded back finally. he was spamming my email with a bunch of them. Remember at Deco, I'd be like, bro, chill, bro. You guys remember that? Well, he sent me one, and I emailed him back because it was fire. I don't know the area. I don't recall. You guys keep asking me. I have no fucking idea. But all I know is it's a deal. I comped it out. I looked at it. As long as it doesn't need like 80,000 in repairs, purchase price is great. Comps out 100K above the price. If you're lucky, you still got another 50K equity. Like, you could put 50 grand into that and you're still at like 120. You could still make 30-40% on that. And then if it does good, you're fucking, that's it. I think it's Jersey. You might get lucky and hit 250. So I like it a lot. So but that was a deal. So like I'm saying, who knows when they come up. I was just telling Deco, like, bro, find me an off market. Stop spamming me. And then but then I also told you I will respond if it's fire. So am I taking your deal? No, I'm not talking. I don't recall your deal at all, actually. I recall the ones that are really good. That's why I'll tell you, and I'll tell you guys, go. But if you haven't heard, probably not. But I think you said something earlier. I remember it on Friday, but I don't remember your email, actually. I don't remember getting one. You should work on your own house. I mean, if you already own rentals, it's just up to you at that point. It's nice. I mean, you get a lot of benefits if you own your own property that you live in. And, you know, you could make it it's both an investment, and you get interest rate, homestead, and a lot of interest write-offs, homestead advantages, and all that. But it's up to you. As long as you already have rentals and stocks, I'm fine with renting. Because I would rent when I want to live in somewhere cool. And if there's a good deal, like, I can't wait till they start discounting luxury penthouses again. I'll rent one. I'm down with it. But if you already got rentals, you're pretty much good. So I think it's a personal choice after that. And SPY near the high, and I think Ethereum is still going, so we'll see. I like Michigan a lot. But you have to find the middle ground. I want like the nice part. I wanted Flint that one time, but we need to go kind of like Ohio, get to the nicer places in Michigan, and I think those are going to do very well. And again, like even Buffalo got popular. I need to check though. Let's see the real-time trends. I'll pull it up for you guys in honor of Midwest. Let's see some of the hot real estate areas right now. Please hold while we connect your call. Okay. No sector. Galaxy on the high. DJT again. DJT, didn't they file for a Bitcoin ETF today? I think that was in the morning. Real-time housing. Michigan. Ooh, what's this? Newark, Jersey, killing it. And then, ready? Cleveland, Elyria, Ohio. That's number 2. That just popped up recently. Then Chicago, and then Detroit. Yeah, Detroit's up there. Detroit's number 4, tied with Boston. So last month that I showed you guys, Boston was like leading in July. And then now Detroit has actually caught up to Boston. But it's ripping, bro. Look at this is what I'm telling you. You start, again, it's been 8-9 months, and I hope you guys were listening. And we talked BBB and a lot of things. It's, you know, you guys aren't going to say I wasn't telling you about real estate, right? You can't say that because I did it every single fucking day. But yeah, you could see kind of the trend. We stayed chill for a couple months, but like lately, since May, there's a couple. Some of the ones that have faded, like right here, those are chilling. But yeah, generally, This is Jersey in blue. That one, that's Cleveland, believe it or not. So look, Cleveland kind of just skyrocketed. Some of those cheap houses in Cleveland just came up out of nowhere. And then Boston was the green one, I believe. That came down. And then Detroit, that's blue right there. That came up. So not bad. And then what's it called? Who's at the bottom? The green is St. Petersburg, Florida. Then San Francisco. San Diego's doing bad. And then Phoenix. And then Fort Lauderdale. And Atlanta. All the places that went crazy. LA. They're not doing shit. Cleveland Elyria, or Elyria. That's what it says. Yeah, it's one of those places in Illinois, yeah. One of them was Illinois. Where was it? Chicago, Naperville, Elgin, Illinois. That place is kind of on fire. SPY is breaking out, yeah. So that's what I'm saying, man. I hope you guys are, the Florida ones, you're going to find a deal, though, now. Because now they're sitting, you're going to get motivated people and all that. But other than that, though, some of these areas have been very, very good. So, like I was telling you, notice the stock market. You guys remember I was telling you Bitcoin, that shit's getting relatively cheaper. And then go look at that chart that I just showed you. So, I hope you guys have been following and sticking to the plan. I think it will reward you. It should. That's what it always does. So God is good, baby. Finger to the sky. SIG on the high. Is that guns? Or am I tripping? Pew pew. No, Signet. That's diamonds. I saw defense on the high too. RTX flip, but then LMT, and then SPY is breaking out. Unfortunately, though, this is very Mag 7 since the beginning of all of it. Like, you're getting just the breakdown. You have way more names that are red now. You don't have the same dynamic as early, and then really just Mag 7 and a few others are really ripping. There's MP giving up a little bit more. Those Nvidias are the same price, bro. The weed stocks are still going up. You have over 100% still. So even from that Trump play, it's holding. $32.8. Just make sure it's in a good place. That's all. So that's the only problem. And once I make the video with the financials on the farm, I'll explain it. But I have been telling a lot of people, I'm glad about the example I gave you with real estate. And imagine, we'll see what happens with real estate. And then, we turn the long term at the highs into some good property with equity. SPY's ripping. So yeah, you're breaking out. It's getting a little bigger. I don't know if you have something. Yeah. But be careful with these like farm properties, you guys. I think they're very valuable, and I think some of them are good. But remember, if it's like out in the middle of nowhere and it's harder to access and other things, like, they don't have as much value. That's why some of these are how they are. And quite frankly, like, the farm we have is next to a major city. That's why, like, I really like it. But just be careful if it's like out in the middle of nowhere, big acreage, and even if it comes with a lot of stuff, it might not be liquid in that sense. It may not be as valuable. I don't know what's happening with the SPY. We just hit the 6,400, and then you just magneted right up, and you're right now at the level. But I got real big there, those 3 candles, but I don't have a headline or anything. We are following up Trump. Market was kind of chilling, but nothing else. EU foreign policy expressed support for steps that'll lead to peace. EU's talking peace in Ukraine, but that's about it. You just launched. Nothing. This is getting, I think you'll get a bigger boost if other non-Mag 7 names could come up with it, but for the most part, it's just Mag 7. I think it's Apple and a lot of chips, Microsoft and all that. They're just leading you up right now. As crazy as that may seem. But yeah, and then it's 9:10, so 20 more minutes till the middle of the hour. Coal's up 9.5. SPY ripping. INSM, MO, and Staples. So let's see. Yeah, Staples are trying to come up, but they're still red. This is all tech though. So again, you have 60% of the market in the red. Even 70% of the Dow. So just be cautious in that. Dow's going green now. So this is all Mag 7 for now, but any other juice, it will come from everybody else bouncing. So just watch out for that. Well, somebody put, I forgot which bank, but somebody put a 6,800 price target on the SPX this morning. That was talked about a little bit. EU working on more sanctions for Russia. All right, man. Those 3 candles, though, that's it. You were in the range doing the thing. This is all during Trump, and then whoop! And here we are. Google's about to go green. Again, you had Apple going up. Remember, Apple had a record-breaking week last week, or one of its best in a long time. I think it was Citi who did 6,800. Yeah, could have been. Could have been. But not bad, Habibi. Not bad. All right, still working your way up. Or was UBS? This is one of those. It sounds either or. It wasn't like a Morgan Stanley, but 6,800, new high. Target. But now we're at what, 6,400 and we just did the break? Bud, and then did you guys hear the rumor? So the rumor is that Budweiser is going to get Sydney Sweeney next. So you heard it here first. I thought you guys would have told me prior, but I think I'm telling you guys first. But yeah, Sydney Sweeney. The rumor is that she could save the brand from their flop a couple years ago that got them canceled. Now you bring in the American girl. And they're talking about it. Then there's another Sydney Sweeney, Jeff Bezos tin as well too. But I don't know if you want to get into that. I really don't. But yeah, watch out for that. Watch Budweiser, potential Sydney Sweeney collab. TPM, and then Reddit, weed stocks. Again, if you got those plays, you got well over 100% now. We already made them free. 200% on the bid. That's crazy. I can't believe it. Like I was saying this morning, it actually held. Usually it sells it off, so. When was the last time it was here? End of last year. Wow. So you have a gap. You have a really big gap to fill. All right, let's see. They got Shane Gillis and Peyton Manning. They're good. It's not Sydney Sweeney. After that, and remember, do you remember what they did? You remember what they did? You enjoy looking at Sydney Sweeney? Do you understand how creepy that sounds? To go out of your way to put a dono and wish me happy Monday with your creepy comment. So, happy Monday, but not really, like I said, people are talking about a rumor for a PR and pumping. Amen.
I like looking at her. I love looking at her, Josh. Thank you for bringing that up so I could tell everybody that I enjoy looking at her. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't sound creepy. It is creepy? Oh. Well, I still like looking at her. Did you know that? Yeah, that's healthy. Yeah, it's super healthy to tell everybody that I like looking at women intently. I do. Super healthy. I like health. She looks healthy.
Okay. You got it. Yeah, you get this guy out of here. Thank you. Thank you. It did kind of sound like Ben Stiller in Dodgeball. It really did. I see it too. I see it. I heard it too. Yeah, I like it. It is before 10. Yes. So my reaction is very justified. If you know. It's before 10 a.m. UMH, not UNH, but UNH is still back up. And again, we had that little rip there. No headline on that. And then 15 minutes till push-ups. farm.
Globo Gym.
Tesla's been on fire all day. What happened to GM and Ford? We didn't see. That's chill. Bonds are coming back up. I haven't looked at the yen or oil yet. Or not in a while. That was fun listening to Trump, man. That was an hour. But oil is coming down. And like I'm saying, he's not saying anything about the... it could happen. It could not. But the whole idea is just watch for the response on oil, depending what the resolution actually is in Russia and Ukraine. Yeah, and then CPI tomorrow morning, 100%. So today is kind of a pregame too. Think about the cushion. And tomorrow's very important. So I also think we're going to get a lot of other data, retail sales, PPI, and then you had Michelle Bowman talking about even more rate cuts this morning. But yeah, for the most part, just remember that non-farms and the economy and this back and forth, that is the key still. So we got to see. Oh! 5,000 yen? Yo, how much? Bro, what? Humble business. Habibi. 5,000 yen. Are you kidding me? Or not? Oh, yeah. Wow, thank you, Habibi. Shukran, Habibi. Shkurak, Habibi. Wow. This guy giving me the 5,000 yen, Habibi. Shukran. Wow. Good to be back on stream. It's good, man. I hope you had a good one, a good vacation. There is new rules, okay? So read the description. And if you're ever worried, just maybe listen for like a day or two before typing, and you'll learn really quickly. But other than that, just read the rules. Don't repeat the watch list stuff, or I will ban you if I know you didn't watch the watch list and you're asking me to repeat it. Other than that, get ready, man. And a lot of watch lists and what to expect in the market. This is why I said it's good that you got a vacation. Maybe you could keep getting it. You got to be on watch, but the market, we're in a very interesting spot, waiting for some things to develop and even waiting for the fireworks till the end of the year. I think it's going to be fun. Lots of fun. Elf and MO still, both of them. Even MO, that play is 1,000%. I sold it at like 500 or 600% this morning. I kept one of them, but yeah, it's at 1,000%. Fourth quarter on the way, baby. I can't believe it, bro. I can't believe it's August. This year is almost done, you guys. In 2 months, it's over. For me, at least. But that's crazy. That's what I'm saying, though. We still don't have the China deal, and there's a lot of stuff that, yeah, we gotta see what happens. So get ready. Get ready, my brethren. Get ready. Okay. This year has been great for some and frustrating for others. It's been a very interesting one. A lot of drama. That's why I'm like, man, I think all the drama made it go by so fast. And it's like, bro, we're almost done. So yeah, I love it. JF Elf still is another $2, bro. Well, I guess up 10% now. So yeah. All right, man, enjoy. I don't think you'll miss much. If anything, yeah, we might get random headlines, but it's just going to be related to either Russia, China, and then tomorrow's our answer with the data. So it's still kind of early. We could still get some action, but I'm sure it'll probably start to slow down soon, and then end of the day, they'll start getting ready for CPI. Okay. But on that note, I think I am going to go to the bathroom, and then we should start just push-ups, too. I want to do some more toe workouts. So I'm going to go to the bathroom and then get up and do push-ups while this is playing.
The president
and then before you know it, man, it's almost philo time. It's crazy.
Are going to be involved in
the day flies on a Monday.
Return for the taxpayers. That is
BRB, praise the Lord.
Financial or equity. He's done these golden share deals now involving shares in companies that he feels he's been able to benefit. This is a president who views himself very much as a deal maker, and he wants a piece of the action.
The other story that I don't want to get glossed over today because it's of interest given what happened last week, Intel's CEO is going to be at the White House meeting with the president, we understand, today. And that's after
President Trump said he needs to resign immediately. Talk about awkward.
Yeah, it is going to be awkward. We don't have the exact timing on when that's going to happen, but you can imagine that the Intel CEO is sitting there with his team over the weekend looking at all these deals that different companies are cutting with the administration, whether that's Apple or NVIDIA or whoever. And you say, what do I need to offer this administration to get on the right track? Is it some large number of investment? Is it some percentage of revenue? Is it some equity stake? Can I bring some goodies to the meeting, so to speak, to put on the table? We saw Apple with a deal tchotchke that they presented to the president. He loves those moments, and so you wonder if you're Intel coming into this meeting, what exactly you have to tee up in terms of an offer to the U.S. government.
We'll see, and you'll let us know what happens with that. Eamon, thanks so much. It's Eamon Javers, North Lawn of the White House for us. Weiss, I'll get a quick comment from you on the NVIDIA AMD side of things, the idea of it being a slippery slope. Now wondering if you own a company that does stock in a company that does a significant amount of business in China, if there's going to be a toll.
Yeah, look, I've thought about this quite a bit, as I'm sure everybody on the show has. It really depends. If it's to, look, first of all, these companies, NVIDIA in particular, their tax rate is about 14% versus the corporate tax rate of 21%. So I don't care if they pay more. I'd love them to pay more. But if we're doing this as a penalty for doing business elsewhere and for doing it in China and foregoing our security concerns for compensation, they have an issue with it. So I really don't know the answer to that. But otherwise, raise revenue, I've got no problem with it.
Jimmy?
Yeah, I started this morning clutching my pearls when I saw this news, and then I thought about it a little bit further, and I remember I didn't clutch my pearls when the Biden administration, as the CHIPS Act came out, started to enact regulations on that and saying that you have certain hiring quotas, and you have to provide childcare and stuff like that. There are benefits that these companies are receiving, and it doesn't matter what administration, there are some attributes that are going to come back to the government for those benefits.
NVIDIA, 13% of its business in China, 24% business for AMD. If you think about really what's going on here, they're being charged to acquire an export license, and that's what this is. So for NVIDIA, it gets them back in $7 billion, potentially $250 million gets kicked back to the United States. Okay, if you're thinking about
I don't care about that. I just, you know what I keep reminding me of? This is why, like with the gold talk and everything, we talked about it a month ago after the bill, but like, just don't forget, they have revenue generation. That's what I'm focused on. So I think Trump is going to try to generate as much revenue as possible, applications, import licenses, fees, all of that. And then after we see how much money they generate, then we're going to get to the gold. Then we're going to get to the hidden assets and undisclosed ones and all of that. Or then the reclaimed assets as well, too. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. But just don't forget that conversation. Remember, the BBB did pass. And that's big money. And that's still expected for 2026. And then now, like we said, where are we going to get this money? And that will affect bonds, rate cuts, and a lot of other things. So I love it. I love it. So welcome back, Chattadonia. Welcome back. Yeah, I hope you did stand up, though, and do push-ups. Wait, I should keep that playing because I only went to the bathroom. I didn't. That's why. I need to go do the foot workout.
Momentum.
That's what's up.
Now, and if you think
now
about
buy shit at the highs. I can't wait. Are they going to tell us to doubt our strategy next?
Managers that looked at the stock.
What more for a lack of mental
and saw dramatic relative underperformance to its Mag 7 peers. They moved away from it.
Yeah,
they
I love fear. You listen to TV and it breeds fear. Oh, I'm sure fear is great for your critical thinking.
What's going on right
now.
But that is a very strong driving force, and it's not over.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more on today's biggest movers. Our top calls of the day as well. We're back in just 2 minutes.
Just 2 minutes. All right, I'm going to do my push-ups, brother. Actually, I'm doing toe workouts. It's great, bro. I'm telling you. Toe workouts are already. I'm a couple weeks in, man. Big fan. Big fan. So, yeah, other than that, though, stand up, do some push-ups. Sitting is the new smoking.
Family.
Move around a little bit.
That,
You'll be
you know,
good.
this is client demand driven. What are clients demanding right now? What are they asking for at this moment in 2025?
You know, they're looking for active. You know, the active story has been tremendous. You know, our heritage, 75 years of bottoms-up fundamental investing resonates well. If you look at the 1.2 trillion in active ETFs to date, 10% of all flows have been in active ETFs versus 2 or 3% last year. So our focus is how do we deliver the best of Fidelity, which with our heritage is the active equity space.
All right, Greg, great to get some time with you. That is Greg Friedman of Fidelity. And you can read about this drill down, plus the latest in the ETF industry when you subscribe to my weekly ETF IQ newsletter. Really interesting conversation. I'm glad you brought up that point about Ether versus Bitcoin, because that's been the story that's emerged just recently, is that Ether seems to be really attracting eyeballs.
Yeah. Building the tech rails for the blockchain, I think Ether got a couple wins narrative-wise, and it's up 100%, by the way, in 3 months. That'll definitely get some takers.
Also, being the backbone of stablecoin makes up for a lot
That's true.
Those are like real things people can latch onto, because Ether was like, what even is it? It didn't have a catchy little soundbite you could sell it with, but now I think people get it. Stablecoins.
Yeah, we've been socialized to what exactly
Not
Ether
fucking
is.
10 years ago?
That does it for
Okay.
Bloomberg ETF IQ. I'm Katie Greifeld, along with Scarlett Fu and Eric Balchunas, and this is Bloomberg.
The other guys go back. I'm almost done. All right, not bad. All right, we chilling. Oh, and on the low, and then Block. Remember, Block had a really good earnings. I actually like that one a lot. CRML. That sounds familiar. Is it small cap? Because again, small caps are going to keep doing that. You guys just got to be careful. And then I hope you even see, like, even when Trump was talking, you know, you got a little bit of action. So just be on the lookout for, like, real drivers. But some of these might. Critical minerals. It looks foreign, though. So that'd be the only downside to it. Otherwise, every other mineral play doing good. But yeah, I've seen so many of these. Just the small cap momentums are still going. Ah! Bum, bum. All right, finish your push-ups. Stand up a little.
All right, we're back.
Move.
Let's hit some stocks on the move today. TKO. That's an interesting one to watch. It's up big today after agreeing to sell its UFC rights to Paramount. Joe, you own TKO.
It's a knockout today, Scott.
Oh, Joe, you're good. So good. Thanks, Joe. We're moving on now.
We added this to the strategy at the end of the most recent quarter, and it's been the balance sheet improvement, significant revenue growth acceleration, and the momentum obviously is clear. This is a big deal. I mean, takes it back to CBS. It takes it to an environment where entertainment can be now bundled and purchased. And Jimmy, I'm sorry, but it appears to me that this is what entertainment is for those people not going out west of the desert.
That was a dig at his casino play.
Absolutely, it is. This is the new entertainment. This is what the younger generation wants.
There were many shots on goal there, I will be the first to admit. Where do you want to go, Scott?
We'll go with Cummins, which was upgraded today to outperform at Wolf Research. Joe T owns that. It's an all-time, or it's a record high today.
It is. Revenue growth of 19%, participating in the AI story. If you think about the data center build-out, power generation can be present there. It doesn't actually have to go out and be acquired, and that's where this company excels.
Let's give Jim one. I don't want him to feel left out.
Why would you do that?
Let's talk about Adobe, which was downgraded today to a sell from hold at Melius Research. Quote, "The world is coming around to the reality that AI is eating software. It could actually get worse. We're downgrading Adobe to sell. We're cutting 26 and 27 estimates. Our target of 310.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
So I'm going to give this one more earnings.
World's coming around to it. Farmer Jim is not.
Yeah, well, here's my take on it. The company has outperformed in terms of surprising on earnings for many, many quarters in a row.
All right, I got one more
they
cent
have
and
been
I'm
buying
done.
back
Oh wait, I
shares
got to
at
do
this
the hip
relatively
hinges.
cheap price, now
I got
16
2 more
times
sets.
forward earnings for a software company that's kind of, an asset-like company. That is really cheap. And so in my estimation, it's pricing in what the analyst has said. I don't think it's real news that AI is what's troubling this stock. What I'm saying, though, is so far it actually hasn't shown up in the results. Now, all that said, it's one thing, do you want to be right or do you want to make money? So if we go through one more earnings season where the company outperforms in terms of its earnings and underperforms in terms of its share price.
So you don't think that the questions of AI impact on Adobe have shown up at all in any of the earnings reports since those questions were asked? Were the earnings reports not as strong as they otherwise would have been? I'm not asking you as a rhetorical question. I'm simply asking you what feels like a normal question.
Yeah, but it's a good question, but it's difficult to answer because here's why. Has the growth rate in the top line for Adobe slowed over the last several years? Yes, it has.
But you suggested yourself that it hasn't shown up in the earnings. So you apparently don't feel like it's a difficult question to answer.
I'm sorry, let me rephrase it. Thank you for repeating it back to me. What I'm saying is that this is, yes, thank you, Your Honor, that this is overly priced in terms of the negative impact to Adobe's business. The AI impact is overly priced in. And it shows that to me when every quarter after quarter, they outperform in terms of revenue and earnings. All that said, whether I'm right or not that it's overly priced in, there's only so long that I can go on with this. This is Adobe. It's not a hill I want to die on. End of story.
Well, I mean, you've rolled down that hill.
Yes.
Do you have any injuries?
I just, no. But listen, you're exerting a lot of mental capital in the strategy. Software. Revenue growth for S&P
CVS kind of
software
flushing. Again, XLV is like decent just because of Eli Lilly and UNH.
Especially relative to other sub-industries. So the
Brazil Haddad
idiosyncratic
cancels
challenges that this
virtual
company
meeting with
has,
Besant.
you're staying anchored to a position there in such a good environment where you have so many other alternatives. What's like the number one reason? What's the turnaround here? Is it an activist? Is it that they're going to come forward with some AI strategy?
Let me just address it, okay? Because all right, sales.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me address it. I mean, sales, the last 1 year up 11%. Last 3 years up 11% annualized. Last 5 years up 14%.
That's not enough.
But okay, no, I got you. You're saying that because it's reflecting in the share price. What I will say back to you is, you know me well, all of you do, right? I mean, think about Google. It looked a couple of months ago like I was getting punched in the face for the exact same reason, right? AI and new AI mechanisms were going to eat the core business of Alphabet.
That was more speculative versus fundamental proof.
I kind of see what you're saying, Scott, but I will tell you that at the time, just let me do this, right? The Alphabet discussion, we were in that day having discussions about this is an existential risk. That's the thing that I
because that's
did not
what we
agree
do.
with.
Like Eddie Q made these comments about search.
Yes.
So we asked the question, okay, is this the moment? Is this the existential moment that we need to pay more attention to?
I think it's the same question here. I think it's the same question. You don't think it's the same question?
I feel like that was more speculation. This has been a little more.
So the reason I don't think it's speculation,
based over a longer period of time.
See, I don't think it's fact-based. That's where we're differing, and that's where I'm saying, and I come back to this.
Well, the stock's speaking a language here.
I can't control what the stock does, and the company can't control what the stock does. The company can only execute on its business plan, and from that perspective, the facts say that they are outperforming, not from the share price. And at the end of the day, everything we do is about the share price. And I'm not going to go one more quarter with this. I want to get one more earnings report. If we don't see a share price reaction that reflects the fundamentals, or maybe this is the point you're making.
Maybe the multiples.
If the fundamentals deteriorate and justify.
Has the multiple compressed?
Heck yes.
Yeah.
Because of these questions.
Heck yes.
Right.
That's why it's trading at 16 times forward earnings. I mean, 15 times forward earnings.
Yeah.
I'm not making that face to you. I'm making the face 15 times. It's a software company. It's not a factory. It's not like we're churning out cars or something here.
Well, I mean, then it should trade at like 6 times. You walked into that. Hi, Silvana.
Hey, Scott. Good afternoon. All right, let's give you the headlines. We start with protests which are underway in the nation's capital today as President Trump announced the federal government will take control of Washington, D.C. and deploy National Guard troops there to fight crime. You know, the president said Washington was becoming a place of lawlessness and said he would get rid of what he called slums in the capital. Violent crime is down 26% compared to last year, according to D.C. police data. German officials say European leaders, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and President Trump will participate in an emergency call on Wednesday, and it comes ahead of Trump's scheduled Friday meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska on ending the war in Ukraine. Europe and Ukraine have expressed concerns that Kyiv is being frozen out of the peace talks. And SpaceX launched Amazon's latest batch of 24 satellites into orbit this morning to join the company's satellite broadband network. The launch will bring Project Kuiper constellation to 102. That's below the FCC's threshold of 578 to offer limited service and far below the more than 1,600 required by July 2026 to maintain a full license, Scott.
All right, Silvana, thank you very much for that. Silvana, and now up next, today's ETF Edge and the big rebound in the IPO market. Halftime's back just after this.
Second. Yeah, and I'm just looking at the forecast for CPI on a year-over-year basis. Both core and the headline number are expected to accelerate by a hair, 2.8% for the headline number, and core seen growing at 3%.
I like the CPI talk, though. Keep in mind that is tomorrow, like I'm saying, towards the end of the day. Everyone's probably just going to be responding to that or getting ready.
For risk assets. As investors reassess the strength or relative weakness of the economy, however you want to frame it, what is the dynamic now for how markets react to weak data versus strong data? Are we back to bad data is a bad outcome for markets, or are we back to bad data is a good thing for markets?
I think, thankfully, Scarlett, we're back to a less volatile environment where we're hanging on to each headline and the market moves as a result of each breaking, top news on the Bloomberg terminal. I think we're past that. We're past peak fear, and we're back to the place where the economy looks like we're really gauging the economy based on fundamentals. So where is the consumer? What is housing looking like? And it's still completely unaffordable. I would argue that that's impact of the crowding out phenomenon and inordinate government issuance. So I think we're back to fundamentals. That's the good news. The bad news, I think, is that we could see additional delinquencies. That's what I have my eye on now, Scarlett. If you look at auto loans, student loans, if you look at credit card, all of these delinquencies are moving higher. So I don't think it's smooth sailing. I do think it's important to hedge your long equity exposure. Put options are back to being cheap because the VIX is back down to 15, and market complacency is back to the 4. We're very close to near all-time record highs. So I think that's the time to be prudent and to look for hedge positions.
So I want to get your take also on international markets, because we've seen the global markets perform better than the U.S., at least for the start of the year. After April 8th, it's been a little bit of a different story. But you've noted that Brazil and Mexico are seeing inflows, and investors are really favoring regions with monetary credibility. So what does it mean when we see and hear the news of the Colombia presidential hopeful dying 2 months after a shooting? How does that change investors' willingness to invest in emerging markets like Colombia?
Well, Colombia, it maybe isn't representative of all emerging markets, but it is indicative of the ongoing risk inherent in emerging markets. I mean, this is a very big issue. This is a senator, Miguel Uribe, who was in fact assassinated at the end of the day. He spent a couple months in critical care. And so what we've seen is the interest in Colombian debt, Colombian equities plummet as a result because institutional credibility and security risks are rising. This is something that's inherent in emerging markets across the board. And I'll add to this assassination of the presidential hopeful, the indictment and conviction of a former president, Uribe, was also something that I think will decrease appetite for Colombian assets. That doesn't mean, however, that there won't be interest in Brazil and in Mexico, which operate under a whole different set of drivers. Sure. Brazil tends to be a beneficiary of the trade war, and Mexico is a levered play on the U.S. So there's a lot of interest in some of the bigger names in the emerging market space. And I'll say one other thing is that talking to our institutional clients who are real money, a lot of them in the US, Europe, and Latin America, a lot of people are unwinding and realizing returns in what has been a spectacular trade, the Europe trade year to date, which is something that we came out at the beginning of the year recommending, in favor of loading back up on the US. So this US exceptionalism trade, as I've argued since the beginning of the year, has certainly not gone out the window.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you brought up Brazil and how it trades on its own fundamentals. There are some headlines that we want to update you on. on. The finance minister, Fernando Haddad, is speaking on local television, saying that his meeting with Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, was canceled. It was canceled, and there is no new date scheduled right now. Trade issues with Brazil are not a focal point for the U.S., according to the finance minister, Fernando Haddad, who again is speaking on local television. In terms of market reaction, Catherine, I'm seeing the EWZ, that's the ETF that tracks Brazil, losing ground, now down 0.3%. And the Brazilian real is weaker versus the dollar stronger versus the currency there. How does this change your outlook for Brazil if some kind of trade deal is long in the coming?
If it's long in the coming and the markets are dropping, and as I expect there to be a change in management at the top on the political side, we have elections coming up, and the president
started right at
Lula is very, very unpopular. We're more likely than not going to get a very market-friendly government.
I got
in the next
protein.
election.
I got a full workout in, bro.
With,
oh no, man. Oh no. What a Monday. It sucks though, because now you're like right back up to open. Because I got a little crazy there for no reason. We hit the high. We got above 6,400, but then. Yeah, you're right back to the opening right now. Oh, yeah, wait. Euro was an hour ago. Hold on. It was 9:30 here. I did that on Friday, too, bro. I don't know. And then wait till daylight savings comes in. I'm going to be cuckoo. Because, bro, you know the sun is setting earlier now? Have you guys noticed that? The sun sets 30 minutes earlier now. I track the sunset. I know. I don't. Not on purpose, but I do. But, yeah, it's earlier. So yeah, I don't know what that was, but right at 9:30 at the half the hour, he did sell off. But same thing. The reason on the way up, not much. Reason on the way down, not much. Oh, the trade cancellation. Yeah, I mean, people are. I don't think it's that important. Like I'm saying, just on the watch list, your events are really clear cut this week. You have CPI tomorrow. The China deal is the biggest importance monetarily. If we go back to a virtual embargo. And then the Russia peace deal, and then the result on oil. So, although I would hate to say Brazil's not important, but I don't think they're important. So, but this week, though, we're going to find out. And then as that builds, we'll see as August takes us in. But make sure you guys watch the watch list so you can be prepared for the fireworks. That is what we are waiting for. You're in the gym now. Wow, I love it. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm not gonna play ball today though. I'm gonna try to play less basketball this week because I was dying last week. I'm surprised. I got a lot of work done at the farm though, but still, man, I played basketball every day last week and that was exhausting. CW on buybacks. Curtis, right? Just very illiquid. So these, I'm not. That's 5%. It's only that. This one's different of a liquidity. It's because it's so expensive. But yeah, I have not been following that one. And where's Staples? Okay, Spy, back to VWAP. I know it looked fun for a little bit, and it looked like you were getting activity, but yeah, man, you're right to where you opened. I know. I'm sorry. I don't control it, but yeah. Remember last week? That's why I was excited last week. I was like, hey, man. Even if it's a little bit different, at least we were moving. But this is very summer-esque. But then again, big data tomorrow. So maybe this makes a little bit more sense why we're not going too crazy. Yeah, VIX is really low. Just remember, after everything last week and all that, you know, the VIX has gone lower. It's back at 15. That's extremely low. Yeah, IWM is about to. Again, IWM was the leader. We flipped leadership a couple of times today. So just watch out for that. Now Dow is really struggling and equal weight is really struggling. Meanwhile, SPY, NASDAQ is up. And then more names, 60% of the NASDAQ's in the red. It's just the big tech names that are holding us up. So very fascinating. CP. Do you do anything besides throw Trump side-eye, Carter? I think you've exhausted your goodwill. So yeah, the jokes, you ran out, brother. Sorry. So like I say, prepare for the CPI and give me a contribution that's going to help us. What is it? 11th. Tomorrow's CPI, and then PPI is Wednesday or Thursday. And then you have retail sales, and then you have consumer sentiment, and then Friday is the Russia stuff, and then, well, we should hear about China Tuesday, Wednesday. So yeah, that's going to be a lot. As I said, this week should be very exciting. 10 miles is crazy. I don't know how much I did it, man. I don't know. I should probably track how much I run during basketball. Like, I don't think I've ever done 10 miles straight. I've walked home from school once in my school. I walked home from high school once, and it was like 6 miles. That was rough. Brazil issues are not a focal point for the U.S. I think you're gonna get a Brazil. That's why I'm fading Brazil for now, just because I think you'll probably get an answer depending on what Russia does. And I think Russia peace and no peace in oil is very, very important. And there's been a couple of random little biotechs today, but I don't know. You have more FDA activity. I haven't looked at the calendar, but you might get some. And then who was the was it iBot? I fuck this one up every time. IOBT? Was that it? I think it's IOBT. Yeah, bro. That one, dude, that was this moved 100% in the day. Look at this, bro. Yeah, bro, this thing was up at 320. Now it's at $1. So again, they missed. It went up 50% off of missing, and then everyone, I think they digested it after that. So yeah, kind of crazy. Silly spy. Yeah, but no, I like the Keytruda one. I hope you guys understand that one. Maybe this one won't be the play, but if you see that in the future where there's like a small like lately they all get bought out right away. So like if you see a small biotech that gets approval and it's in combination with a blockbuster drug owned by one of the big healthcares, that thing's gonna get bought out. It just keeps happening. Even AbbVie, we saw it a year or two ago just because we follow AbbVie, but they literally bought a stage 3 company. I haven't even seen that in years. So that's what I was looking for with IOBT, but they missed the trial. So I think people were getting excited because it was Keytruda, but then the data was a literal miss of the statistical significant endpoint. So yeah. NTCT and PCT. A bull case for Wendy's? as of late, if they could sell consumer products outside of the restaurant, like licensing the bacon, that sounds so funny to say out loud, but that could be one of the verticals that they could take advantage of. But other than that, you just need it to grow. I mean, maybe Sydney Sweeney, I don't know what to tell you, but you need, it just needs to, they need to do better metrics of spending and then just demand. Any restaurant, if you could get demand and you're already in place, that's it. That's why pizza, like go look at the earnings for Papa John's, all jokes aside, it's pizza. All you need is demand, and that's what they got. So I think Wendy's could do very well if they became popular again. If they could get culture, become relevant, have a new product, or literally everybody just gets obsessed with the Baconator again, then I think it would be fire. Just demand, that's all. That's what I'm saying, though. I think Wendy's is getting, it sounds funny, but like they're trying to sell their products in grocery stores, like the chili, the bacon. It's hilarious, but that might be worth it. Who knows? You don't really see people do, like, what if they sold McDonald's like Big Macs at Walmart or something? Or like the chicken nuggets. What if you could buy McDonald's chicken nuggets from the store and then put them in your oven? I would be down with that. That would kill it. So Wendy's is the first one to really try it, I think, but yeah, we'll see. Whataburger does that? No way. Whataburger, Texas, Tejas. I haven't been to Arby's in a minute. I know, how come Wendy's doesn't have their own sauce? Or like the bacon, though. Their bacon is iconic. And then the square patties, but then that's not as popular as it was back in the day. All right, ladies. So Chad, do you know what's about to happen or no? Are you aware? Are you familiar? Familiarity breeds contempt. Yeah, you guys are correct. You guys are correct. All right, Chadadonia. God bless you. God bless America. Wait, let me make sure it takes you there. Oh, yeah, wait, here, too. Let's go through the ban report. Not bad, not bad. So I didn't sell too much today. But then again, too, I don't want all of the members to go buy a bunch of memberships. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We banned 8 people today. And we have 7 new members. So today was our first day. If I end it right now, this will be the, so unless a new member who's not a member wants to be a member, this will be our first day of a deficit. So wow. I know, 8 to 7, 8 to 7. That's what it is. It's not bad, but I don't regret it. So again, you guys will get unbanned at the end of the month. I already recorded your names, but no one's gonna tell you what you did or not. I either addressed it or I didn't. But like we said, listen. It's a listen first community. You'll never get banned for taking in the info, getting a long term, and changing your life. But you know, if you don't follow the rules, then yeah, unfortunately. So that being said. I don't know if that counts now. Now we've evened it out. Like I said, we was waiting one person, but it's okay. Oh, there he is, Mr. Wilbur. All right, he evened it out. There you go. I mean, if we do get a deficit, we will have to tariff. Donald Trump did teach me that. Yeah, I guess so. Well, maybe it's okay. Let them do it on their own this time. Oh shit, my computer just froze. Why is it frozen? Bro, what's happening? It froze, bro. Oh, it froze. No. Alright, you guys. I don't know. I can't see you anymore. It's been a long day. No. Oh, hello. That's me. Oh, 20! I said, no, the members. Y'all need to chill, bro. They got me 20 of them. I think Dr. James Cash is responsible for any that. Okay, now that's easy. Okay, never mind. Now we have 37, 47. Oh, man. Oh, there's Ted. That's a newbie right there. There you go. Well, awesome, bro. And listen, if you guys want to listen to Philo, I would love for you to be there. Because, you know, listen, bro, if you didn't know, like, you should have thought I was going crazy like a month ago. You know that? You guys should have thought Josh was going cuckoo, not when I was like, don't fear no man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You should have freaked out when I was telling you about revaluing gold. But now the banks are saying it, so I don't know what to tell you, big homie. Nah, man, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just saying. It's just, so if you want to hear about some Jesus, I'd like some Jesus. I love it, man. You know that God is good. You're all children of the light. I don't care what you say. You know that I don't care. You believe, brother. You only don't believe me because you have fear. So that clouds your mind. You have no fear. You're going to understand what I'm saying, big dog. So God bless you all. It should take you there. Am I on it? Yeah, thank you to all the members, bro. We were at the deficit. I wanted the non-members to see if they wanted to be a part of it, but then now the other chads, they just flooded it, bro. They flooded out the members, bro. Flooded it out. So I'll see you at Philo. If you don't want to hear about Jesus, then go to wherever you want to. That's the beauty of freedom, dog. You could do anything. You could do anything. Oh, man, that's amazing. So I'll see you there. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you to the veterans as well. And peace.